Concrete veins, heartbeat of the block. Echoes in the alley where the shadows talk. Crown on my head, fortune still in chalk. Lungs full of smoke, breathing in the grind. Teeth like razors, bite through the line. Vision so sharp, it can sever time. Jungle fury can't be tamed. Every step the ground's in flame. We the fire, we the storm. Born in chaos, fully formed. Jungle fury running wild. Cinematic, raw and vile. 808 to shake the throne. Concrete jungle, claim your own. Streets hum symphonies. Tires screech a chord. Graffiti sermons. The city's holy word. Buildings whisper secrets. Only few have heard. Brick walls crumble under heavy rain. Baseline, thunder, earthquake the chain. Tigers proud of skyline, hunt the gang.
Welcome to the Wake Up Fatty Show. Inside the untouchable empire.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally, after year 3, debuting what we told you we were going to do. Political show, a political channel, more of a news channel that I think will be the cornerstone of all these amazing content creators that do day-to-day politics, but they don't have a space to actually go at the opposition, make sure that they keep the opposition fair, okay? If you're watching these, we are streaming for more than 10 destinations, 8 destinations. I will start the show on the main channel, but at the middle of the show, I'm going to redirect all the subscribers to the Wake Up Fatty Show, which is the morning show. We already have enough subscribers, but because we didn't have no videos, we need the hours. So if you want to make sure you are a part of the journey, go ahead and follow that channel. But without further ado, the Breaking Ground show starts now.
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
Capital of any state in the South, and this whole march adds drama to this total crime.
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? Where's your basis?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
Started on the mighty walk from Selma, Alabama. They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here, that we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
He couldn't even speak the language, but he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now why can't you people do the same? My grandfather built this country, man!
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
Once again, thank you very much to my guests for being here. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me introduce the ladies first. Miss Messi Michonne, she is in the building. Thank you very much, Messi, for being here. We appreciate you. We have a legend from TikTok, the love Skeptic, she's in the building. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have the infamous HQ. She's in the building. Thank you very much, HQ, for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have my brother Jeremy. He is in the building. Salute to you, Jeremy. Shout out to you. We have the one and only Taruz. Salute to you, Taruz. A great friend of the show, Cheeky Banter, is in the building. Thank you, Cheeky, for being here. And last but not least, the one and only Chaotic Truth is in the building. Thank you very much. He's already shooting from 3. That's crazy. So, friends, as an icebreaker, let me move myself over here. As an icebreaker, we're going to start with the Spain's great betrayal, okay? As you guys know, the United States, when they started the war with Iran and they had the support of Israel, they asked for help for their usual allies, okay? Not only NATO countries, but like some nations specific in Europe that they needed logistics to use, right? And Spain said, we are not going to do it. Donald Trump said asked to the Prime Minister of Spain if we could use his bases, and he kind of replied like this.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
We kind of know that the United States has been the strong arm of NATO, and they are usually the end all be all when it comes to supporting international military actions. So the question is this, okay? Spain just slammed the door on the United States planes. They enjoy the protection of NATO umbrella, but refuse to let us use their airspace to finish the job in Iran. Is this a sovereign right or a total act of treason? Okay, Trump is ready to make them pay. Should we, as y'all, retaliate by cutting Madrid off the global economy? Should the United States retaliate financially and making sure that Spain pays for the fact that they dared to say no to Donald Trump?
It's time to do.
The ladies upstairs, Messi, Michonne, and HQ, y'all can start, and then we go from there.
Let me come up off of mute. Thanks for having me. Shout out to the panel, everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I look at it differently. I'm just going to say that you can say no, but I think you'll probably need me before I need you. That's how I look at it. So we'll see what happens in the simplest form. I'm thinking it's a mistake, but time will tell.
Would you retaliate financially, Messi?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you wait or right now?
Say again?
Would you wait for it or right now? Would you make them feel that right now?
Would we wait? Would I wait for it? Why? Wait for what? You made your decision. We need to make our decision. That's how I look at it.
She said, give him the business immediately.
You gotta get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
HQ.
Yes. Well, Spain is a part of the NATO alliance. The NATO alliance has in Article 5, if a NATO country is attacked, they have an obligation to help if a NATO country is attacked. United States was not attacked. So therefore, NATO allies are not obligated to join the forces.
So
that's all.
So you wouldn't retaliate in any shape or form?
I would, if I was the United States, I would have no standing. I am one of the founders, so I understand what the Article 5 is of NATO. It says we only help in a defensive position. United States is not in a defensive position, so therefore I don't need to step in. So therefore you can't retaliate, or you can, I guess, but you're not supposed to, because you understand Article 5 and you're the founder and the person who put those articles into place. So therefore you should understand that. But seeing as how Trump is just dumb, he doesn't understand that.
Damn. Jeremy?
All right, so does NATO have a dog in the fight? Short answer, no. Should they help by allowing them to use their bases for refuel and stations? I believe they should, but they didn't. That's their choice. But when we think about it, they haven't really been holding their weight anyway. Everybody's supposed to give a certain amount of money to NATO, and they only do about 2% or right up under that. So they're not even reaching the minimum requirement. Actually, U.S. covers over about 70% of NATO's total defense spending. So I would think that if the one who is actually giving you the shield for the majority of the time would like to use your base for refueling, not saying that you have to be in the fight, but can I stop by your house real quick? Can I pick up something? And you say no, then no, we shouldn't retaliate, but don't come knocking at my door.
They're going to need us before we need them.
Exactly.
Cheeky?
I think America has undermined every international ally that we've had, with the talk and speak of invading Greenland to take their own country. Right? Like we've already entered into other countries, taken and abducted their own, sovereign leaders. America in this current state has no right to ask for any help from anybody. And no one should feel obligated under any circumstance to help America, because a lot of America's problems have been started and caused by America. So Spain taking the position that they did makes a lot of sense. And America's mouth, aka Donald Trump, has undermined NATO and its allies, and the history of the allyship and the history of every NATO nation, to the point where it doesn't make any sense to want the help now. After you've caused a global crisis by closing the Strait of Hormuz and everyone's economy is collapsing due to that. So that's my standpoint on it. They can reject it. They should. There's no reason to help people that don't seem to care about it, and they don't give any help at all. Global tariffs, no, fuck this country right now. It's okay though, because one day we'll kick him out and then put somebody in that knows how to run a country, and not this guy.
Damn, strong statements. CT?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Should the United States retaliate? Should the United States punish Spain for their audacity to say no?
Believe it or not, man, you're gonna be surprised at this answer, Fatty. I support Spain. Spain is, let's be honest about it, man. They fumbled the bag hundreds of years ago. But being a part of NATO, there are security guarantees that are, for the most part, primarily funded by the United States. The United States government funds 70% of NATO. I don't know if anybody knows that. Spain only funds, I think, 1 or 2%. It's very small. You would believe that with America pretty much bankrolling NATO, Spain would allow the U.S. to use its airspace or to use whatever bases. However, Spain, and I'm pretty sure you've been there because you're right next door, Spain is really a service economy, to be completely honest with you, man. It's not really a superpower anymore. It's really, a tourist attraction. It's not any place that should support the United States support the United States, because what will happen is, I guess Spain looks at it. What's the prime minister's name? Pedro. What's the prime minister's name? Fatty, I forgot his damn name. He called it out. How this violates international law. Because if you destabilize the Middle East, what happens, Fatty?
They come to Spain.
They come to Spain in droves. All these refugees. So I guess Spain.
The north of Spain, as the Strait of Gibraltar, is literally like a 10-mile situation. Yeah, that's what most of the immigrants cross.
So I guess Spain is looking out for its long-term interest, and as much as I'm an American nationalist, and as much as I recognize that we do bankroll NATO, I'm gonna have to side with Spain on this one, man. I think America should take the loss on this one, to be completely honest with you.
The United States does not bankroll NATO.
70% of NATO is funded by 70%. 70%.
Before y'all go on the back and forth, friends.
I heard you 70%.
1 second, HQ. 1 second, HQ. HQ, make notes, please. Friends, let's just get Septic out of here, and then we do open panel about this situation, because I actually want to hear from HQ and the rest of the crowd. Go ahead, Cody, finish your point.
Tarus has to go as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Tarus. My bad, man.
Yeah.
So essentially, man, in the long run, the United States is really putting the EU and the countries within the United Nations. They're putting them in a very tough situation here, and let's be honest. I guess we can get into the topic of why we are really in Iran anyway. But that's what I had to say about that particular segment about Spain, Fatty.
Thank you very much, Kartik. Let's get Septic and then Tarus, and then we do open panel. Let's go goes first.
Yeah, I think the part that I don't know if it has been touched yet is why we're even there. We had an agreement that Iran had already signed. That was a really good agreement in which they were going to keep certain things under control. We had no reason to rip up that agreement. We had no reason to go out there. Like, we have no business going out there. And I think not only do we have an unqualified person in office that is showing us actively that they are unqualified, and they have hired people that should not be in these positions of leadership, that don't know how they're going to respond. The very fact that we didn't know how to counter their drones, right? And we had Zelensky that had come to the White House and told them, we know how to counter their drones in a cheaper fashion, but because we were so arrogant, because of white men imperialistic mentality that they have, in which they want to come in and bully you to do the things that they want you to do, and they think that there's going to be no retaliation. They look down on other countries and think that they're not capable of things like war. They think that you don't have the capability to come in and attack people. They think that you have no power to do anything to defend yourself. The imperialistic way of thinking has gotten us to this point. And in reality, I think that it's not just an issue with Iran. This is a global issue. This is a global problem, because America went off trying to tariff everybody. They were going to negatively affect Spain with their agriculture and technology by trying to tariff people for no reason. America was on the defense before there was anything going on. They were attacking their allies when there was no issue with anybody. So I think if anything, it was starting to build up, and something was going to blow, and this was just the first thing to go.
Thank you very much, Tarus, and then we open the panel issue. Sorry, Tarus.
Yeah, I surprisingly agree with most of the panel, thankfully. First and foremost, no country is obligated to help another country with an illegal war, with an illegal invasion, first and foremost. Second, NATO is a defensive alliance, not an offensive alliance. So that already negates it. Second, anybody talking about, well, the Strait of Hormuz is important. Let's remember, guys, the EU didn't have a problem with the Strait of Hormuz until who started a war in the region? Now everybody has to pay a fee, a toll to Iran to get their boats out. And which, by the way, shout out to all you guys who were fear-mongering BRICS, because this is exactly how you devalue the US currency and get it to like the Chinese yuan. By the way, that's what the oil tankers have to pay in the currency when they're going through the Strait of Hormuz now. So good job, guys. You are self-fulfilling prophecy. So yes, the EU is under no obligation to help us. Spain specifically is under no obligation to help us. And Fatty, why would Spain help us in a war that Trump already said we won?
Damn. HQ, I know you had the comment about the and I'm putting Jeremy because Jeremy had something to say about the NATO, like 70%. What do you want to say about that?
Each country in NATO is obligated to pay 2%. That's it. 2%. If they decide to pay more, that's on them. The United States pays 3 to 3.5%. Everybody else pays around 2%, except the Baltic states. And the Baltic states pay 1.5 or 1 to 1.5. The United States is voluntarily paying 3 to 3.5%. They're only obligated to do 2%. So United States is only putting out about 800 billion. That's what they're obligated to pay per the treaty, the treaty in NATO. So stop saying the United States is paying more than they're supposed to. They're voluntarily doing 1% more, but everybody else is paying what they're supposed to be paying, except the smaller and the Baltic states. That's it.
All right. So
and what they're paying is irrelevant because they are under no obligation to assist in an offensive war.
But I'll agree with you on that as far as the United States paying more. But actually, they're below the 2%. All right. So economicinsider.com, you can go check it out. That's the reference point. But they are below the 2%. They're not hitting what they're supposed to be hitting. So yeah, you can say that we're covering the bill, sure, but they're not putting forth their part. Now, am I saying that they should actually?
Who?
Well, it isn't just Spain.
I just said that there's some smaller states, some smaller countries that are not paying all of their share. They're paying 1 to 1.5%. Some are, but the bulk of them are paying their 2%, which is per the treaty of NATO.
But the sum is the issue because Spain doesn't fall under the pre-qualification that you just said. So that's where that issue comes from. So I'm not saying
Spain fall under it. It's a member of NATO.
Okay, you said before that the ones that are paying below, they were what kind of
Baltic states.
All right, so you're saying that Spain is a Baltic state?
No, but I said some are not paying. I didn't say only all Baltic states.
Right, I got you.
I just gave you an example of some that are not paying all of the 2%.
Right.
Okay. Spain could fall under that 1%. But that makes no difference. You keep bringing up money. It makes no difference. They voluntarily put themselves on the line for NATO. They have a volunteer. They can volunteer to get into the war. They don't have to get into the war. And United States is the aggressor. They have a defensive position. Do you not understand what defensive means? I help you if somebody attacks you. Nobody attacked the United States, so therefore it's not a defense position.
We agree on that. We agree on that.
Just for clarification purpose, okay? Spain was paying 1.28%, and there was several countries that was paying way less than 2%. Yeah. But because of Trump, kind of the actions, the Europe is kind of isolating themselves, and for the first time, all the countries actually went above either matched or went above the 2%. So now everybody is eating the quotas of NATO. The thing that is not like the United States and Americans are applauding that. The thing is that the Europeans start to arm themselves now. Even I think Denmark order billions of dollars in missiles from the United States to kind of defend themselves in case the United States do something, which is kind of ridiculous. But things that was supposed to be people that were superior allies, which is Europeans and the United States, now the Europeans start to develop the weapons that they never did because they thought we can kind of get away with it because the United States got it. They have the bases, we lend them to them, we give them the space for them to put their nuclear weapons and all that, and we good to go. So kind of it looks like they go ahead, Chiki.
I think another thing too to mention is like the United States was okay with that due to the influence that it has globally.
Yes,
right.
I can agree with that.
The United States as I think more than 20 nuclear like weapons, not 20, on the hundreds nuclear weapons in Europe, and they have several bases around it that they use on the regular. Matter of fact, when the United States went to war on Afghanistan, when they were attacked on the 9/11, the meeting was in Portugal. It was on Azores. It was on one of the Portuguese bases with Tony Blair and the Spanish prime minister at that point. So it's kind of well known that the European geopolitical situation actually helps allowed the United States to get access to the Middle East without having to travel the whole Atlantic Ocean to get access to them.
Real quick, guys, just a point of order, Fatty. We need to remember that our European allies were already arming themselves about 3-4 years ago when another madman in Eastern Europe decided to invade a country for no stupid reason whatsoever.
That's
right? Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine. That's also one of the reasons our European allies boosted up the defense spending, especially Poland, who armed themselves almost immediately because it's almost like they've seen this movie multiple times before in their history.
Okay,
right? So we got to remember, Europe, with all the social spending, they have been taking these measures already to arm themselves and defend themselves. The issue is that, again, defend themselves against Russia, not made up threats in the Middle East.
Okay, so, and I agree with what you guys are saying. I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but I am saying Spain is still lagging behind. I just checked the NATO website right now, and they're projected to hit 2%. They have not hit 2% yet.
So, Jeremy, can I tell you why real quick? Can I tell you, Fatty?
Of course you can.
Spain, Jeremy, I don't know how much you know about Spain, but CT had
I don't know anything about Spain.
Already mentioned it before. Spain fumbled the bag because they were one of the great colonizers, right? Colonial powers. They have been bailed out multiple times by the IMF and by the EU over and over again for financial mismanagement. As far as Western Europe's concerned, they're basically the Mexico to North America because a lot of their cheap labor with like car manufacturing and things like that, all of that's done in Spain most of the time. And so the reason why they can't match their military spending, Jeremy, is because they can't match any spending right now.
And I agree with that. And I also agree with the fact that they don't have to help. I'm just saying if we're going to state numbers, then we need to state the right numbers. We can't say that everybody over there is doing it if we know that everybody isn't. And if they can't, that's fine. But let's be honest.
For sure, Jeremy.
Anyone wants to add something about this?
Yeah, could I respond to that comment that was saying that I can't call Trump unqualified? I can call him unqualified because he lied to the American people. He added on to the national debt. He has not completed anything that he promised to America. He did not put America first. He put every other nation before America. He started tariffing our allies, so now we have isolated ourselves. And you cannot say that part of the issue as to why the EU and other nations are saying no to America does not have to do with tariffs. It does. It ultimately has to do with diplomacy and the fact that America, because its mentality of bullying people into doing things that it wants it to do for their own benefit because they want cheap oil, is the reason why we're here. We already had an agreement. There was no reason for him to go back on the agreement. He just came out and said it was a bad agreement. He had no idea what the agreement was. The man cannot put a full sentence together without stumbling and saying something that is lunatic. Like the fact that you still call him qualified, to whoever said that in the chat, is an issue that shows me your intellect is lacking a little bit of logic.
Messi, is Trump qualified?
You're muted.
You're on mute, Messi. You gotta come off mute.
And by the way, shout out to the 500 people watching the show. Please like the video where you're watching and support the content creators there. We are going to read every single super chat that you send, regardless of where you send it. Okay, go ahead, Messi.
I actually had asked, what is he qualified for? What do you ask me if he's qualified for? To be president? Obviously, I guess he is because he crossed off all the what's necessary to become president, and he was elected as president. Is he good? Is he bad? That's for everyone else to decide. Is he not like every other politician? No, he's not like every other politician. Does he do everything that he's supposed to the way he's supposed to? Maybe. No, he doesn't. I think that the reason why Trump was elected is because on the Democratic side, people like to lie and just say that something is what it is and we're just supposed to believe it. And I think that there's a lack of masculinity across the whole United States. And if the only thing that I can say about him maybe is the reason why people elected him is because he's more masculine. And people probably don't want a woman to be president. But mainly because I think Democrats just like to lie and people are tired of it, which is why he got elected. Now, the first time he got elected is because everyone thought he was a joke and they just laughed him off. And then he snuck up there and then he became president. So.
And Ms. Missy, is it masculine to cover up sex trafficking of minors? Is that a masculine thing to do?
No, it absolutely isn't.
Is it a masculine thing to do to lie about having sex with a porn star on national TV, end up having to pay hush money, and your lawyer goes to prison? Is that masculine?
What I say is the fact that we're tired of people that think that everybody who wants to be a man when they're a woman, or who thinks they're a woman when they're a man, and people are supposed to support it, not supposed to say anything. Yeah, we're tired of that type of stuff. I'm tired of men who cry all the time. No problem with crying, but out here on the streets looking like they don't really know that they're not in a reality show, and then want to put them in charge or put them in front of us, and we're not supposed to say anything. I'm over that, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are over that. I'm not talking about anything else other than demeanor. That's all I'm talking about. And the fact that people tried to say that that woman was black when she wasn't, I'm pretty sure many of people weren't falling for that.
Dr. Messy, is it masculine to?
I'm not going to keep answering that question.
I'm just saying you brought up masculinity, and so I'm just trying to figure out, because again, you also brought up masculinity. You brought up transgender kids, and so I'm just trying to walk it, Dr. Messy, because based on your logic, because some of these issues are going on, that made you decide to vote for a guy who was already found. I'm sorry, I'll let you speak.
Just one second, Iso. Because this is the pilot. Once a person said that they don't want to reply to no more, make a statement to Rus. It's going to have the same type of effect, right?
Yeah.
So I know you walk it down. No. You did well. No, 1 second. Yeah, because you walk it down, but as soon as people don't want to engage, just make a statement instead of asking the question. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I agree. My bad, Dr. Messy. So
no, you're doing great. You're doing great. Go ahead.
Yeah. So guys, when you're super worried about somebody else's kids, and that somehow forces you to vote for a guy who is already held liable for sexual assault in 2024, and then on top of that, he's continuing to cover up the sex trafficking of minors by pedophiles because he's also probably one himself. Like, at some point, when are you going to be able to critique him and his actions without bringing something else up? That's all I got. That's all I want to know, guys. What's the standard?
Anyone wants to go after Tarus?
Yeah, I think Dr. Messy brought up a good point, right? I don't think she did anything besides give an explanation as to how Trump got into office, right?
Thank you.
I think that what she's saying has some truth to it, which is the Democratic Party, by and large, messaging wise, hasn't been the strongest. It hasn't been catered toward young men, right? Because there's the red pill to conservative pipeline that I'm sure we're aware about, but it was intentionally targeting young men to get them to also vote and think, differently. And that's how he got the young vote from the young men, especially white men, right? White men feel, right? And I'm saying purposely feel as if they're being victimized in today's current time. So if you can strategize that, also put the people in the right podcast, like sitting with Andrew Schultz or sitting with any of the what's his name, Joe Rogan. When you start putting your politicians in the places young people visit, and you start curtailing a message, true or false, but make them feel as if they're being heard, you're going to get the support. Right now, what we've noticed is young people realize they've been duped, which is why his numbers and approval ratings has dropped amongst all people. Right, and they're starting to realize I got duped, but she's not saying anything false. She's only giving a prescription to what she saw. And I would agree. People would say being a Democrat is kind of gay. That's what they would say. And you don't have to be like the most online person to hear that, because that's just how people view Democrats. Soft, weak, y'all like transgender people. And again, I think while I do think that's, limited and maybe not the smartest, observation. That's just true. We lost. And when I say we, I'm saying the United States and people.
But I
we lost
agree
that
with
war.
you on the strategy. You see, that's the thing. I agree that was the strategy. I'm pushing back on the fact that people still fell for that dumb shit. Because based on everything you just said, Cheeky, just remember.
Yeah, for sure.
For the young people, fine. But we're talking about people our age and older who knew better. Right?
Okay,
and
well, that's different to Bruce.
Hold on, Cheeky. And then on top of that, at what point are you going to practice what you preach? Right? At what point, Cheeky, are people who vote for this guy going to tell people to do their research, and then you find out, Cheeky, they don't do their research? Like, how many times is this strategy going to work with now? Because we now, based on that masculinity, Cheeky, that you just talked about, based on the fact that Democrats are all small and weak, we are now $40 trillion in debt. We've given 2 countries with universal health care billions of dollars. We've started another war in the Middle East. We started a global trade war where we even tariffed an island full of penguins, apparently. Right.
True.
And by the way, none of our allies respect us. So I'm trying to figure out, yes, the strategy worked, but when are people going to stop falling for the dumbass messaging?
Let me
That's
get
a good question.
Cheeky and then Chaotic over here, and then we open again.
Let me just interject real quick. When a Democrat decides to change their messaging, that's when it might change. But because they continue to push through the same crap and they don't change their message, how do you expect something to ever change? They're not budging. They're still saying that Cam had a great strategy to lose the presidency. So if you don't, Jasmine Crockett did the best that she ever could. It was just racism. So if you just are going to blame other people for the reasons why you lose and you don't change your strategy, it's not going to change.
Donald Trump literally started an insurrection for blaming others for why he lost. Like, this is insane.
You're
already insane.
You're not listening. If everything is going to be focusing on Donald Trump, you're going to lose again. If everything is about we don't do anything wrong, you will lose again. It's not working. We've been hearing this for how long now? It's Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. Even when he's not involved, it's Trump's fault.
But I would beg to differ because we're starting to see in special elections where Democrats are dominating. Even in Mar-a-Lago, the district that Mar-a-Lago is in is now blue. Like, I just don't see how the messaging is not working. I think if anything, it was the fact that people were not.
People don't like to listen. They don't like to listen. They just want to go talk. And I believe I was in the middle of speaking. So again, people want to continue to think what they think is right. If you're not going to open your mind to think about the people that you're trying to lure to your side to get what you want, and all you're doing is spewing what you think it is, and they're already saying that that's not the case and we're not listening, keep doing it. It's not going to work. So if it's just what y'all think or whoever, then that's fine. Then don't think that you're going to get somebody else if you're not trying to do anything to entice them over. Just saying that Trump is bad, that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Okay. So have you landed? So
I 100% agree with you that you can't just be like, this guy bad. Like, that never works, or that shouldn't work with anybody. The problem is, Dr. Messi, you're also being kind of disingenuous because the Democrats, for all their flaws, do have policies that are grounded in reality and supportable. For example, universal health care, price caps on medication, right? We need a renewed infrastructure on our roads and bridges. By the way, Dr. Messi, Biden did a lot of that in his first term. He actually kept some of the tariffs that were a good thing from Donald Trump's USMCA Act in order to bring in some factories. But
also, can I add this in?
If friends, 1 second, we're getting a little bit overexcited. Okay. Let the rules land. I'll give the Septic this chance to say what she needs. Messi will respond, and then Chaotic interrupt it, please. Okay, let's let this by order, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. And so, Dr. Messi, I would want to agree with you, but then I can just look just a couple years ago when Biden passed the Infrastructure Bill Act. All the Republicans voted no, and guess what they did, Dr. Messi? They went back to their district and campaigned on that bill being approved.
Yeah.
So the messaging is there. You just don't want to hear it.
Here's the thing about one of the issues that we just heard, right? One of the excuses that we heard was the LGBTQ, the T, as an excuse. That's less than 0.01% of the population in the US. Like, to make that, the fact that propaganda, and one thing that I will agree with, propaganda is an issue. We fall for this, the okie doke, what we call the okie doke down south. Like, you fall for something because they put it red man good, blue man bad, and you fall for that instead of going in and actually doing the research as to who that's going to affect. The fact that we have more people that are born with 2 genitalia here in the US, but we don't care about that. We want to make the LGBTQ an issue when in reality there is no issue. Inclusivity, equality, and equity will never be an issue for people of color. It will only be an issue for those people who this system was built to uphold, which are white people, white men in particular.
So everything that you said, Taruse, would be something that Democrats need to get out as the message. If anybody on here is thinking that anyone is going to go do any research to look into shit like that, you're out of your mind. So it is up to you, whoever that is, Democrat or Republican, is to get that information out and in front of people. Because again, like I said before, you can keep saying Trump is bad all you want to, and I don't know about all that LBQT stuff that you was just talking about. But I just use that as the example because that's what they throw in front of everyone, and you're not allowed to say anything about it, or else you're considered some obic or some ism. And some of us are tired of that. And just for the record, I'm not a doctor, just a doctor on YouTube. But thank you so much for the respect. And second, I never said that I voted for Donald Trump, and I also didn't say that I voted for Kamala. Just FYI.
No, it's fine. It's fine, CT. I know you're tired, CT. This is the frappuccino that your dog.
We definitely moved around a bit.
Let me, Jeremy. Can I actually, because y'all didn't answer the question, kind of.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
What's the question, Fatty?
Kartik, do you think Donald Trump is a competent president?
That was the question.
No, that wasn't a question, Fatty.
No. 1 second, please. So this is how we got here. I asked Messi, is Donald Trump a competent president? And Messi said, to be or not to be. That's the question. And we kind of diverge into all these other things. Democrats are bad and Biden is these. And
he's qualified based off of what you need to be in order to be president. That's all.
So I will give Chaotic the chance to either answer the qualified question or these Democrats versus Republicans, if the Democrats are weak and all these. Like, I'll give you the chance to reply whoever you want to reply, and then I have a couple of statements to make.
Fatty, in America, I don't know if you watch basketball over in Portugal, but there are about 5 highlights from Michael Jordan that are just cemented, or it'll always be in the minds of, pretty much 30 and over people, right? About 5 highlights. Now, Jordan, every damn game, he played phenomenal. When people ask me about Trump, I could always, go into depth about, federal government restructuring, bore you to death with energy policy shifts. I could always bore you to death with, economic nationalism and tariffs. But the Michael Jordan moment of Donald Trump, Tarus, Michael Jordan's in the air, dunking. The Michael Jordan moment of Donald Trump, in my opinion, are 2 things. One, getting these goddamn illegals up out of here. Basically turning, and I gotta say this, basically turning ICE into the stormtroopers. I gotta rock with that. I really rock with that. 2, his DEI cuts. I've hated diversity and equity and inclusion because I went to, we're from the same area. I went to a very, very DEI diversity bullshit college. And they were pushing that nonsense on us 22 years ago when I was in school, 23 years ago when I was in college. Those are my Trump moments. I'll never forget. I like the fact that he was open with it and getting rid of these programs and getting these people up out of here. That's all I mean, other than that, man, I could bore you to death with all the little nerdy stuff and paperwork stuff and policies, man. But it's nothing like seeing people on their ass with bullshit jobs, man, because they got in and they didn't even earn the position. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love seeing. Tarus, you remember that video I did last year? That lady at the border, she was crying. She was like, "Oh, I love that shit." Oh, because she couldn't get into the country. I love that shit. So yes, Trump is competent. The government is still functioning. We still have our army. We still have our roads. We still have a functioning government under Trump. But those are my highlights of Trump, Fatty. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Damn, let me come down real quick over here, right?
Go ahead, buddy.
So the reason why Trump ended this Iran deal, other than being blackmailed by Israel, is because it was signed by Obama. We know that Trump has a chip on his shoulder because of that roast that he got during the Obama I think it was the press, whatever. So he has a chip on his shoulder. Like Donald Trump is not shy into actually reaping the things that their enemies build or perceived enemies build. So if this deal was signed by another Republican, he probably would try to hold it a little bit. But to be honest, Donald Trump said the tariffs they had in place were weak, but he was the one signing tariffs on the first term. So he literally went against his own tariffs. So I'm not sure exactly if he would stick with them. If he would stick with them on the long term. Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
Fatty, why are we in Iran?
Oil and Epstein files distraction and blackmail.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't know if you're wrong, but I'm gonna tell you why.
You don't have an opinion?
Israel too.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You don't have an opinion?
I'm gonna tell you, Fatty, why I believe we're in Iran. One word and one word only. China. Do you want to know why I say China?
Yes.
China purchases 80% of their oil from the Iranians.
Sure.
Have you seen China in the last 15 years and what these people are doing over in China? Have you seen their mega cities, bro? Have you seen the technology? Have you seen their GDP in the last 5 years? Have you seen what these people are doing? I truly believe America is in a panic mode right now. So to maintain a global hegemony, to maintain the appearance of that we are the reason why there's global security, I believe America wants to control a lot of these straits.
Sure.
Because America sees its once great empire slipping because these Chinese men are making, bro, I gotta admit it, man. America should be ashamed of itself for not having no goddamn mega cities at this point.
Y'all have mega cities called New York City. It's called Atlanta.
Yeah,
it's called,
New York City.
Y'all cities are bigger than every city. Hey, you know,
New York City,
you know what they call Portugal? Hey, you know what they call Portugal if Portugal was the United States? Kentucky, like something like that. Like y'all can't like.
Hey, but Fatty, I'm telling you, America doesn't have mega cities, bro. Like Shenzhen, hell no. Shenzhen has 30 million people living.
But that's the point. It's not about the people. It's about the infrastructure, how much money the city generates, and all that. And the United States, if you actually put it together, the United States probably have top 5 in the top 10. The United States probably have 5 of them. No, you can compete with LA. You can compete with New York. You can compete with Miami. There's a lot of hubs in the United States that will literally bypass one country economy just by themselves.
The United States is in fear of BRICS. And I truly believe what I ain't doing nothing, but what the United States government is doing over in Iran in the Middle East, they are putting a momentary halt on supply chain globally. They're putting a momentary halt on the American population slipping and falling into second or third place, man. It's coming. It's inevitable for us, man.
You didn't listen.
I'm an American. I'm telling you,
you didn't listen to Tarus. I respect all of y'all professional like acumen. Tyrus is a genius. I'm sorry. When it comes to politics, undefeated by far. Did you notice what he said about BRICS? Y'all are pushing everybody to the arms of China and Russia. These countries that literally were in movies for centuries being the bad guy now are seen as the good guy. Like countries for the first time are looking at BRICS, they are looking at Russia, they are looking at China, and they're saying, at least these dudes, they might be villains, but they don't change their mind every 4 years. We do a climate agreement, they break it. We do a nuclear agreement, they break it. Like the United States can be trusted. That's why, for example, the African countries rather have the Chinese imperial of peace coming in and develop infrastructure, because they rather deal with the stability of Chinese, even if they are going to rob them, than dealing with the United States that is randomly sending forces to Nigeria because Christians are in trouble. Like, you can't do those things, because you are, for the first time in history, pushing European countries, South American countries, African countries, and countries that were allies forever to the ends of China. China and the United States control the world differently. Y'all use imperialism. We are the strongest. We have the best economy. We control the dollar by the the oil by the petrodollar. So if you don't do what we want, we do what we did to Gaddafi. We do what we did to all these countries in the Middle East, South America. We depose people and put our puppets. China is the fake nice guy. Oh, those guys are beating you over there. Let me give you some information. Let me give you some discounts. Let me give you 0 tariffs. By the time Trump put tariffs on countries, China was announcing on the next day, you know what, guys? No tariffs for y'all. Let's do business. You are not going to defeat China with a strong end. You have to have a velvet glove and make sure that you do the same thing that they do. But for whatever reason, the United States a couple of months ago, and these was Republicans a couple of years ago, they started to defund programs around the world that was putting wells in Africa, that was doing very charitable things around the world, because they said it was a waste of money, because if we have homeless and we're sending money to Ukraine, this is a bad look for us. But this is how you actually regain power and control. And this is why when your troops fly and land, you are admitted as heroes, because those people remember that you put a well on the ground. So now when American soldiers come in, he is a Power Ranger. He is not Thanos. This changed now. Most of countries are looking at the United States funny. So I don't think chaotic by fucking up the Strait of Hormuz, that is fucking up our economy too, because our prices are crazy too, right? I don't think a Spanish citizen or a Finland citizen that sees their cost of life going crazy because of a war that they didn't start, I don't think they're going to look at the United States with better eyes. I think they actually would like more China, because China is the ones that actually are supporting the people that were attacked and not the people that attacked other people. You have the chance to reply. I'll like say just one more thing, and then I want the panel to give final thoughts so we can go to the super chats and to the next topic.
You were saying, do I want to reply?
Yes, if you want to reply. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. We have time. We're fine. Don't worry. We have time.
Sure.
Yes, we have time.
I'm pretty sure you guys have iPhones, right? Some of you have
yes.
iPhones.
No, we don't. We are not losers over here.
Okay.
We have.
In the US, we have iPhones.
Yeah, we have Androids,
Yeah.
Samsungs. Yes.
You know who makes the iPhone? You know who manufactures the iPhone?
Probably a Taiwanese person.
Chinese.
Sure.
Chinese. Yeah. Look inside your battery port. Bro. The real war is the American citizens. If you really want to change things globally as American citizens, you know how like we always talk about in America decoupling from China. Oh man, we need to decouple. You know, I read a book called Death by China by Peter Navarro. Great book, by the way. He worked under the first Trump administration. And he was in the book going in on China, dogging China. And I said, you know what? This is the exact reason why we might lose out, why the dollar is going to be devalued, yada, yada, yada. Because we won't even do it. Hell, I won't even do it. I did a test one day. Fatty. I said, everybody that calls in, turn your camera on and show me anything made in America in your home. Show me anything. Nobody can do it, man. Fatty, we've lost, man. So this war in Iran, this is nothing. This is something manufactured, man, for something
you can't say it's nothing. Like the issue that the issue.
If there was nothing, the United States,
China.
If there was nothing, Trump wouldn't put tariffs on Chinese industry to get jobs back. And this is the problematic part with this conversation. Is once again, they are playing 3D chess. Y'all move the manufacturing over there. There's nothing you can do because if you tax them, they will move their industries to 72 countries before they get to the United States. They'll go to Cambodia, they'll go to Vietnam, they'll go to Mongolia, they go to Portugal or Brazil way before they move the jobs to the United States, because the United States cost of living, the salaries are the biggest on the planet, and nobody wants to, like the biggest bill is employees. You don't want to do it in the United States when 1 day or 2 days of salary is probably the salary of a Vietnamese. So if this was, and I'm sorry, Chicky, for interrupting you, it's kind of hilarious that, again, we are going to do things and then we are going to blame the other side for the things that we do. These companies and these governments have no problem in capitalism until capitalism actually injures their imperialism. All of a sudden, it's not capitalism anymore. Bring the companies over here. We need to be nationalists. No. If Nike wants to do their shoes in Taiwan because their margin of profit is bigger, all y'all capitalist conservative douchebags should be very happy to do it, because y'all believe in crony capitalism. If Elon Musk is a billionaire, I can be a billionaire too. Why are you forcing me to bring back my company to the United States and to lose a tremendous share of profit because you don't feel is right? So again, conversation for another day. Let me get Cheeky over here and then I'll read the super chats, okay?
Yeah. The reason why we don't know why we're in Iran is because there's not been a concerted effort for the president to communicate anything, right? The reason why Chaotic Truth can ask you, Fatty, why are we in Iran, and you can come up with an idea and he can come up with an idea, is because nobody actually knows why, right? The only answer that we have right now is Israel, right? Because when you look at the intelligence, or when you look at what happened with Tulsi Gabbard's congressional hearing, she said, we didn't declare Iran an immediate threat. We already taken out their nuclear weapons based off of reportings from months ago. And then when the question was asked, does it seem like Iran or the United States and Israel is aligned in their war efforts or their purpose for being in Iran? She answered no. And this is coming from the head of our intelligence. So if the reason why we have no idea why we're in Iran is because he has no idea why he's in Iran. He got tricked by Bibi Netanyahu to get into a war, which Israel has always wanted, a war with Iran in the Middle East. These things are not uncommon when you start looking at the history of Israel and what they've been trying to do. The reason why we don't know why we're in a war is because our own president doesn't even know. He has no idea. He didn't know that the same group of people, the replacement, although it wasn't supposed to be a regime change, or it was technically supposed to be one, all the replacements he ended up killing, and the intelligence came from Israel. So we're dealing with a president who he's not using any form of government that he controls by all measures. The House, the Senate, he controls every facet of government, even on the judicial level, and he can't pass a law, and he won't pass a law. He'll just keep using executive whatever they call, my mom's going blank.
Executive order?
Executive orders, just for them to be repealed or moved out of the way for another president to do it, because he's not a competent leader. He's not a competent president. There's no way, as somebody who has the House, the Senate, and all branches of government, and no laws getting passed besides the big ugly bill or big beautiful bill, however you decide you want to look at it. That's the problem. We have no idea what we're doing in Iran. We don't know how long we're going to be there, and we can't really control the outcome. We can't control anything because the president we're dealing with has no control. There's no one holding him back.
Can I offer some?
Buckle up, everyone. It's time for some super chats.
Teruz, I got you. I'll give you the microphone. immediately. Okay. Thank you so much to OG Top Cat for the cash app. It says, keep grinding, Fatty. I appreciate you, OG. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Cha-ching!
Where my boy Keon is making sports bets with Fatty. He said the Lakers are going to lose today. So he bet $10. Let's see if he gets his money.
Cha-ching!
And my boy, of course, Bet Works is in the building with $2. He says, and low. Thank you very much, Bet Works. I appreciate it.
Cha-ching!
On my side, friends, if you want to support the Hamburger Fund, you know exactly what to do. Team 38 $, Team 38. We need $150 in the Cash App and 6 members. So if your name is in gray, please make sure to support.
I would like to buy the burger. I would like to buy a hamburger. 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 The burger.
Remember, please, friends, if you are watching this show in any other platform, support them. Make sure you send them a little bit of lunch money, because we're going to read all the super chats, even on those sites. As you guys know, I'm going to try to start the white channel. Is already up today, the Politics and News channel. This show is going to be closed at hour 1.5. So if you guys are watching on the main channel, there's like 200 and something people on this side. Make sure that you migrate to the Wake Up Fatty show. I will put a redirect link in the description. Let me get this super chat real quick. Landon became an untouchable
empire, baby.
My boy Taru's in the building. He became an untouchable too.
empire, baby.
Thank you very much. Mr. Frederick gave Massey Michonne a membership. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. We have Through the Fire podcast, TJ in the building saying we're here. Thank you very much, sir. He says, HQ, no windmilling today. Salute. HQ behaving well today. Leave HQ alone. HQ doing good. Black Dawn saying, NATO doesn't have a dog in the fight. Wrong. 12% of an LNG, it's talking about the gas, goes to the Strait of Hormuz, which goes to Europe. Yes, the Europe prices are skyrocketing exactly because of the Strait of Hormuz too. Book with Mick became an untouchable. Thank you very much.
empire, baby.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. TJ is back and saying, stop saying Trump isn't qualified. Regardless, if you like him or not, he is 100% qualified based on the United States Constitution that sets the qualifications of a president. TJ, I'm not going to lie. That was a very snarky, very interesting way of telling somebody's qualified. By that case, Joe Biden is qualified and George W. Bush Jr. and all these people. So I don't know about that. That Reaper in the building saying, I'm tired of Americans not putting American first. Thank you very much, sir. Player 1 in the building saying nothing.
Untouchable empire, baby.
1 membership. I appreciate him. The sponsor of the show, Nick, with 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much, Nick. We appreciate the donation.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
Untouchable empire, baby.
Black Dawn flying. It says U.S. is the aggressor. The reason is because of the preservation of the petrodollar. Iran was trading oil exports and shipments long before war. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and Nick coming through with a $75, making him the sponsor of the show with a $100. He says, this is going to be a great show. I know everybody kind of knowing each other. This is going to be interesting in a few weeks. I appreciate you, Nick. Thank you so much for rocking with us. We have Black Dawn saying U.S. NATO military pact dissolution was seen coming from a long time. EU interest and U.S. interest generally no longer align, with the exception of Iceland and Greenland. Thank you, Black Dawn. We have that Reaper saying, was it masculinity when Biden's son beat all those cases, all those Democrats in the PDF? Thank you very much. Black Dawn comes back and says, Sarus, what about the sex trafficking cover-up, blatant currency manipulation, corruption, and ballooning of the deficit, Miss Massey, genders? I fucking hate this lady. Damn.
Oh man, hate.
Stop hating Black Dawn. We have Dead Reaper saying ABC Rainbow to Liberal Pipe. Thank you so much. We have Chris the Creative. Chris Creative, he says, it is masculine that is Biden administration had the Epstein files for 4 years and did nothing, sent to the FBI to get his niece's diary because of stuff in it. For my information, they couldn't do nothing because they were locked, because there was some things that was happening on the courts that actually barred them from accessing them. So I'll go with that. Might be wrong, but I think I'm right. That Reaper says Kamala Harris said she was black. Cam said she was offering something that was accessible already, but okay, message, I think, for myself. Another one. We have Chris saying Iran has been attacking the US since the 1979, the 1983 Barracks attack, USS Cole, First World Trade attack, etc. We have that Reaper saying big fat messy. Judas from Jersey in the building. One untouchable.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Shout out to you. I appreciate you. We have Chris back again saying just Obama and Biden are responsible for half of the national debt. So stop it. Shout the debt. I think I read that wrong. Zarex with one untouchable.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
We are almost ready there, friends. John Dunning says it's easier to fool the people than it is to convince the people that they were fooled. Thank you very much. Black Dawn says Dr. Messi with the I'm dirty than SpongeBob at
Oh man, hate.
To the Fire Podcast says, why did the Space Ninja assume who Dr. Messi vote for? Damn. We have Tabitha. Ali taught me that. I'm going to guess that some of these panelists have no idea what their local and state representatives are right now for their community. I read it right. Chris backs again and says, we don't want universal health care. It sucks. Thank you, sir. We have Black Dawn again saying, Dr. Messi, I'm not a doctor in real life, only on YouTube. I can tell. Ooh, this band Black Dawn is going crazy. Let me play this sound. Messi likes the sound. Let me play it again. No captivity. Magnetar says functioning government is still trying to illegally fire all of us. Thank you very much. We have Conchonery in the building. It says China and Russia are benefiting from this war. We have 10 more to go. Mr. Robert Platinum in the building with the $10 ball saying great news. The U.S. Army raised the max age of enlistment to 42 years old. If you are under 42 and support the current administration, go on down to your local recruiter office and enlist. We have Brooke Nathaniel with the big 20. That the executive branch has checks and balances. One, Congress. Second, the judicial branch. And the third, we the people. If you think Trump has slipped all these checks and balances to achieve what he wants, then he must be competent and
qualified, competent, two different things.
What'd you say, HQ?
Qualified and competent, two different things.
Damn. Black Dawn, chaotic. China has mega cities. LOL, go live in those towers and you'd end up on live leak. We have 5 to go. Brooks Nathaniel says, the truth is strings are being pulled by those more powerful than Trump, than seen rulers of this world. Trump is a front man and the foul guy. Thank you very much. Chris is back saying Trump and Marco Rubio literally told you why we are in Iran more than once and told you to take notes. You just don't like the answer. And Mr. Cashflow also says, "Oh, excuse Fatty, but China loves capitalism, even though they are capitalist. They are a capitalist country. China is all about the Benjamins. No country is true capitalist country. We are mixed economies. Like this is just a myth. Just some
China's not a
countries.
capitalist. Yeah.
Yes, is the mixed economy. As soon as you start to do too much money, you have to go to the government to talk with them in China because they don't like you to just be rich for no reason. I actually think there was 2 guys that were arrested or was barred from leaving the country because they sold their company to an American enterprise. So the government wanted to have a talk with them. So they are not capitalistic in nature. They're actually very hands-on, whatever you can do over there. Yeah.
Borderline, their synthetic economy.
Yes. Mr. Mikhailov saying the reason we're in Iran is the decision of what form of money is going to be the next petrodollar. Thank you very much for the $10, sir. We have TM Panic saying great show. Fatty. It wouldn't be possible without my guests, and I appreciate them. We have my boy Twisted Pop with a 10 untouchable membership, getting us all the goals today. Thank you so much, Twisted Pup, for always being kind to the fat one. Dad Reaper saying, fuck anyone who has smoke for Messi. He said, you better watch your mouth, Black
You
Dawn.
better get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
Mr. Dead Reaper says, speaking directly to you at Black LTM Dawn. You better watch your mouth, sir.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
And finally, the Chicago Reeler says, this is content. We need fatness. Salute to you, sir. Friends, let's go back to the show. I'm not going to let it pile up so much so we can stay here for like so many minutes, getting cold. Tarus, do you have anything to say before I move the conversation to the next topic?
Yeah, real quick. This is kind of directed at you, Cheeky. Just a little bit of pushback with we don't know why we don't know why we got into war. Chris was sending some super chats. I disagree with most of them except the last one, which is Marco Rubio and Donald Trump told us specifically why we got into this war. Let me remind the panel and the audience. Marco Rubio specifically said we knew Israel was going to strike Iran first, no matter what, and they was going to retaliate by hitting us, so we decided to hit them first. Donald Trump specifically has said all of a sudden that Iran was months away from obtaining a nuke, even though, and I quote, he said after we bombed their facilities in June of 2025, their facilities, quote, completely obliterated. His new favorite word, right, guys? He keeps saying obliterated over and over and over again. And so he's told us exactly why, regardless if you guys want to take it at the word or not. And then, Cheeky, you know Donald Trump is scatterbrained. Another big reason is listen to him and Bibi Netanyahu. These are a bunch of old-ass dudes talking about their mortality. He's trying to throw his face on every single banner he can. He got his name trying to get put on the airport right now. You see the shit show with the Trump Kennedy Center. He is just trying to be known for anything because he's on the clock, my opinion.
Also, can I add in the JCPOA that we pulled out of? Again, like Fatty was saying that Obama had put into place. It literally was saying that their uranium their nuclear program had to be under a certain percentage. So when we pull out of that, we have no alternative. We have no, we go and attack. And this is an offensive war, right? That means that on our part, we have a certain thing we want to target. They were not attacking us and we responded as a defense. And that's the reason why a lot lot of countries that are our allies don't want to get into it. Because now not only did we attack first, and there is no real reason as to why we attacked, being that we had an agreement with this country, but now if you get in it, now you're going to be targeted also. Not to mention that we're supposed to be not wasting, no fraud, no abuse, right? We're supposed to be saving the American dollar for the taxpayers here in America. And now it is like over $1 billion a day to be in this conflict. We have gone up $2.2 trillion in 2025. We don't even have a count for 2026. So this man, if you want to talk about qualifications, he isn't a politician. You're right. He doesn't know what he's doing. When you look at the policy that he had for foreign countries and how it was that he was going to keep peace, it was peace through strength. And I don't know if anybody took the time to read that website on the White House page. It had nothing to do with keeping peace. He had no foreign policy other than talking about his greatness and how amazing he was and how strong of a man he is. He's very masculine, so masculine that we're in a war that we should have never been in.
So, friends, let's move up. Let's move to the second topic, okay? And since we're talking about the Iran war, let's just stay over here, okay? Let's go with the last. Let's go with the Israel Ghost Infantry, okay? We see the airstrikes, but we are the boots. Rumors are swirling that Israel is letting American soldiers take the ground level risks while they stay behind the Iron Dome. Are we being played by our closest allies, or is this a master stroke of strategy? Okay, so there's rumors that the United States might put boots on the ground. The Israelis already told, nope, we're not about their life. We're not going to go there, right? I want to know y'all opinion about this. Let me start with Jeremy because he's been quiet for a while, and then we go to HQ and the rest of the panel. Go ahead, Jeremy.
So my opinion about this is very simple. I do believe we're being played by Israel. I believe that Israel is the reason why we're in the war in the first place, and the reason why. Young lady,
can we bring your volume up a little bit?
It's a little bit muffled.
That better?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry again, everybody. I'll restate again. I do believe Israel is actually at fault, and the reason why. Young lady from TikTok said it perfectly. We had a deal. It was working. It's been there for a while. But you know who didn't like that? Netanyahu. He actually said this was the worst thing ever made in history. And you know who did the first strike? Netanyahu. And you know who had to respond after that? Us. And you know why? Because we got our information from who? Israel, Mossad. Because FBI have not been able to get over there. CIA has not been able to get in there. I don't know if y'all know how CIA work, but they talk together. Those high intelligence, they talk to each other. So they didn't have enough space to be over there. We can't occupy and get information over there. So what do? We share information.
So they don't know?
I think that they know because they shared information. That's how that works.
The United States military industry, like all of the most funded group of the government, you think they don't have intel on what is going on in like they need Israel to know that?
There's an intelligence agency for every major area, and they work together. That's what, and that's the part that people are not understanding. Israel gave information that they wanted us to know. It was up for us to do a recheck on that. Now, whether that happened or whether that didn't, it doesn't matter because we're already in the war. So that's my point of view on all of this.
HQ?
I'm going with Tulsi Gabbard in early 2025, who came out and said there was no imminent threat from Iran. And then Donald Trump shut her down and hid her. And then they went to war with Iran, or they took shots at Iran. So, yes, I believe that we got tricked into the war by Netanyahu. Not tricked, but he waited until he could get a goofy president to go along with that saber rattling that he was doing for years and years and years. It's an imminent threat. We're in trouble. It's a preemptive strike. We got to do what we got to do before Iran hits us. Yeah, Iran may have been trying to hit Israel, but Iran wasn't trying to attack United States. They can say death to Americans all day long. They've been saying that for years, 30 years, but they still haven't tried anything. And Tulsi Gabbard said it was not an imminent threat in early 2025. So I'm going along with what she said. We got tricked into it because Netanyahu got into Trump's ear and said X, Y, and Z, and then he went along with it. Why do you think Barack Obama didn't go along with it when he was talking to Barack Obama? Why do you think Biden didn't go along with it when he was talking to Biden? Because they had enough sense to know that would be a start of a world WW3. I can't say the WW word. It would be a start of a World War III if we got into the middle of got into that kind of fight. They already had the long range thought that they would close the Strait of Hormuz. Nobody wanted to do that. Everybody in the world looked at it like, what? 20%? You should have known not to go over there. So it wasn't a matter of being tricked. Let me change my wording. It wasn't a matter of being tricked. It was a matter of catering to somebody's ego. And you catered to Donald Trump's ego, saying we need to do X, Y, and Z, and you got convinced into doing it. I'm saying we could have did it years ago because they've been saying kill Americans a long time ago, but we never did because we have presidents who thought that stuff through. The Strait of Hormuz would have been part of that strategy. So why didn't the president think of that before he went over there? Why didn't you think of that?
Kartik?
I think Islam is the worst institution, one of the worst institutions in the last millennia. If Israel wants to police any Muslim country for the matter, I believe that America should always assist. These people harbor terrorists. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. All this is about oil, but if we just look on the surface, I support Israel and I support the actions in Iran. And a lot of this is a blood feud going back thousands of years, man. But Islam is really the worst thing right now on the planet, particularly radical Islam. And if these people are in these countries doing whatever they do, hey, man, so be it. So be it. That's the way I look at it, man. I look at it like this, man. You're supposed to kill your enemies, to be honest with you. So, I mean, to me, this is an open and shut case with me. I'm very, very pro Israel when it comes to this, man. I'm just gonna be honest about it.
Just to clarify before Tarus goes, and Chiki, just give me just a second because he wants to say something. So you are okay with sending American boots on the ground to? You are okay.
They signed up, didn't they? They signed up. They signed up, right?
Oh shit!
No, 100%.
Did they sign up for the military?
No.
That's wild.
No.
Did they sign up for the military?
You are out of your mind because they did not sign up to do that.
Mike is real. I can barely hear him.
No, we're not going to do that. No, the United States military does not sign up to be a pit bull. I'm sorry, that's not what we were for. It's not what it for when I was in it. It's not what it is for now. Now, yes, you do have to do what the commander in chief tells you to do, but do understand this was not our fight to begin with. Just like I said before, this has nothing to do with us. So no, I do not agree with that. And I actually think we've already been on the ground. If you just want to be 100% honest, I think those numbers are disingenuous. Y'all love that word on YouTube. And I think that more of our men and women have died already. So no, I don't agree with that. And if any American citizen agrees that we should be over there fighting over there for this reason, then you're wrong.
Jeremy, let me piggyback off what you just said because I want to tell everybody who don't know me, man. I was in the Army, active duty, 8 years. I have 2 deployments to Iraq. First one was 15, the second one was 12. I saw all of our allies, despite Iraq being in a legal war, banging in the desert with us, except one country, and y'all all know what country I'm talking about. Despite the fact that they also helped give us the intelligence that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, right? And so now, once again, we are in a situation where we're leading the charge that someone else started, that Israel started. Jeremy, to your point, there was already 2,200 Marines being sent on the ship about a week, the first week. Now we already know 82nd Airborne's getting ready to deploy.
Right.
Right. We already know we got military bases with troops in the area to begin with.
We already know that some of the bases got hit.
Exactly.
We already know that some of the bases already got hit. So how did they not get casualties if they didn't know the bomb was coming?
Well, unfortunately, guess what? We're at 13 right now, Jeremy. There was casualties.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
and
so
I don't think that number is correct.
Wrong about that. And CT, I got it. And CT. And so CT, the issue is we live in the West that you love so much. We live in a secular country that you and I love so much. So why are elected officials and a secular government citing biblical texts to start a war in the Middle East? You see, CT, we just entered ourselves into, and thanks to Mike Huckabee himself, we entered into a holy war. So guess how the Middle Easterns are going to treat it? And by the way, CT, that was a Tomahawk missile that hit that school that killed 160 girls. There's only one country on the planet that produces Tomahawk missiles. There's only 3 countries on the planet that uses Tomahawk missiles, and 2 of them aren't entering the war, UK and France. CT, that leaves us.
But I like the way that.
And so now 168 kids. I want you to multiply that by how many parents they have, how many uncles they have, how many aunties they have, how many cousins they have, and that's how many enemies you just created to our country.
Yeah, this isn't about religion. I think if you bring in religion, you're strawmanning the argument, because I will say this, Christianity has taken way more lives when we talk about as a whole what Christianity has done and the unalivings that it has caused. And on TikTok, that's what we say. It's like, don't make it about religion, because Christianity is going to lose every time. Islam is the second most common religion that is practiced. So I think that you straw man it by saying that it is because of a religion. It's not. In reality, this is because we have an unqualified person who came in and was jealous. We already had an agreement, like I've said multiple times. And I also think that not only is Israel part of the problem, they are a very specific small part of the problem. America as a whole has been out here and is now saying from the president's mouth that Cuba is next. Like, we didn't just bomb one school. We've bombed multiple schools. America is an imperialistic nation. And as a whole, America is not going to stop. They're going to continue to bully people to do the things that they want them to do for their own benefit and to make things cheap. This is the capitalistic way of thinking. And some even argue that imperialism is the last stage of capitalism. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I think it's interesting to note that it has nothing to do in reality with religion. Because if you make it about religion, the president is a 38 count felon, and his wife was a prostitute at some point. And literally we have a magazine with her and no clothes on. So like, please miss me with the fact that you, like, the conservative movement wants to make it about, oh, let's be more family oriented, when the DHS husband was out here called a bimbo online. So like, it's not about morals. It's not about that. In the backspace of this, it's about them making money and about oil.
Fatty, you there, buddy?
Now,
I don't know if you want to go. Yeah,
I'm going to give a little pushback.
Oh, well, let me.
drop.
Oh,
go ahead, Chaotic, if you want to go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. Taros, I rock with you. I rock with all of you. Stop the bullshit. Y'all don't care about those 168 kids that got killed. Just like you don't care about the little boys and girls over in the Congo strip mining coltan or cobalt from those mines so that your cell phones can work. You guys don't care about those people. You guys are just you guys just don't like the Zionist state. You guys don't like Israel. That's all what this is about. You guys, you guys are picking and choosing when to be moral and when not to be fucking moral. Come on, man. You can play that political stuff with anybody else, but not me. Let's cut the bullshit. Because none of us right now are willing to smash our phones that are made with the hands of 6 and 7-year-old kids who are dying in mines over in Congo. Am I lying? Am I lying? That's how our cell phones are made. That's a part of their supply chain. So none of us are really moral. None of us like Islam. Let's be completely honest about that one too. None of us want to live under the previous Iranian state that pretty much oppressed those people after the revolution in 79 or 80. Let's stop the bullshit. Israel is a secular state. We are going into a global system of secularism, and Islam is holding us back. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit. Now, if those kids really died, from my understanding, the IDF hit the wrong target. Okay, if those kids really died, that's tragic. But there's tragedies all over, man. Why are we picking and choosing? None of y'all have anything to say about what Islam is doing over in Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria. And I bet, and I bet, hold on, let me finish. And I bet if a black Nigerian ordered the killings of those Muslims and some of them kids died, none of you would say anything about it. None of
national headlines.
Let me just finish.
It's just a crazy argument.
Right, when you guys are talking, hold on. Let's. Okay, all right.
One second. One second. Let him land.
I mean, I didn't cut anybody off when
let him land. I want Septic and Tarus to respond to it, and Cheeky, please, uninterrupted. I need to go to Messi Mission. I have a question for her. Go ahead, Septic. Chaotic, finish your point and let them rebuttal to you.
None of you right now on the panel, you don't care about the Uyghurs and how the CC or the Chinese government are treating the Uyghurs. None of you care about Kim Jong-un and how he's treating his people. His father, his grandfather treated the people of North Korea. I don't see anybody marching for that. I live around a college campus right now. Every time I'm walking past these stupid liberal kids, they're always chanting pro-Palestine, pro-Palestine. The Jews are bad. I never seen any of them protest against China, protest against North Korea. Never seen.
You never saw free Taiwan. You never saw free Taiwan from the lead.
Never seen it. I'm telling you what I've seen.
4 years ago, you never saw free Taiwan. That's crazy,
Patty. I'm telling you what I've seen. So. Again, if a black did it to Muslims, nobody would say anything. But because the Jews are doing it, the Jews, they're always up to something. Ooh, they're controlling the world. Stop it. Stop.
Septic and Tarun have the chance to reply.
You guys don't care.
And then Chicken interrupted.
The type of argument that this is a red herring, right? Where you're bringing in an irrelevant fact, the fact that we cannot help that we're in a capitalistic system, but we are indirectly upholding the system, but we are not directly supporting it. There's a difference between me saying I live in the system, I abide in the system, and I have to move in the system, then I want to uphold the system. Like, I don't wake up and want to uphold the system. And you cannot say that they accidentally bombed this school when they came back 45 minutes later and bombed it again and have bombed multiple schools. And the fact that you say, sure, you're trying to use this argument of like, oh, we're all doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to be okay with my government going and bombing a school full of kids. I'm going to snap back. This is why we saw thousands and the hundreds of thousands of Americans out in the streets protesting in the No Kings protests not that long ago, because we do not support this. The fact that you do support it, you have a direct association with what this government is doing. The rest of us want him out of office. The rest of us think he's not qualified. We are voting in people, and this is why you're seeing the blue tsunami coming in America in all districts and all special elections, putting in people that are blue or left-leaning so that they can get him out of office. Because unlike some people, we don't directly support this.
Go ahead, Tarus, and then Chicken interrupted, please.
I'm good. Go ahead, Chicken.
You were talking to me?
No, Cheeky. You want to either address what they said or talk about the boots on the ground?
You're asking if I supported the boots on the ground, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so no, that would be no, but I think that's kind of obvious. I don't even
What do you
think we
think
should be
about
there.
CT comment? Y'all like, cause there's 3 ex-military at least on the panel, right? Or military. Do you think, like you said, oh, y'all enlisted for it? It's kind of what he said, right? What do you think about that comment?
I think, like Skeptic was saying, it is definitely a red herring or an irrelevant statement, because again, I can understand why somebody would take issue with some of the things that were happening because they're directly connected to America, right? If you see a Patriot missile, that only comes from a certain group of people, and if Europe and France is not involved and it's American, we know it's an American missile. So yeah, we could feel some type of, guilt or some type of conviction about that because it's directly connected to the country that we reside in, right? It's hard for me as an American, just honestly speaking, to care about every issue in the world when I know the issues happen here that affect me. I can't care about every single thing. And it's also not very genuine to expect college kids to care about everything because they don't have a concept of a lot of different things, right? So I can be understanding and go, oh, they care about this issue because it's being presented in front of them, and they have somewhat of an understanding that, Israel is technically a superpower in the Middle East, and they are not the most fair, right? You got settlements where they shouldn't be. You got what they're calling a genocide. You've got war crimes, right? These are the things that are being presented in the media. So if I, as a United States citizen, think that our college institutions are doing the best they can, which is giving the information that is the most relevant to the West and Western society, I would expect them to care about that. Why would they be thinking about North Korea or even South? Why would they care about those things when our interaction, when it comes to Western politics, doesn't really interact with them in that direct level? So no, I just think that's disingenuous to do. That's like saying, why do I not think about the ocean, although I live on the land? I live on the land. I'm not thinking about those things. I'm worried about things that concern me. You know what I'm worried about? These gas prices, right? The fact that every time I fill up my gas, I'm thinking, should I go ahead and get a reserve tank, right, and fill that up so next week it don't go up twice as high, right? That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about a man who said no new wars, and yet here we are with a second war. I'm concerned about the fact that we're supposed to be America first, but we bailed out farmers in other countries. I'm concerned about the fact that all of the issues that we have is directly correlated with a man who didn't uphold any of the things that he said he was going to do, to the point where even conservatives themselves are dropping out. I'm concerned with the fact that we've got somebody who is currently he has the House, the Senate, he's got the legislature, the judicial, and he is the executive branch, but he doesn't know how to pass a law. I'm concerned about the fact that there's been 3 government shutdowns in the past year already, and each one has gotten closer to breaking the record to the one that is currently happening where they did break the record. That's what I'm concerned about. Why would I be concerned about what's going on in North Korea when I don't have to worry about my gas is going crazy? You know what everyone's concerned about? The Strait of Hormuz, to the point where Thailand and other places are saying we have to shut this down. What about Cuba, where they can't even function as a society because they don't have enough energy or power? But you want to talk about college kids that you drive by and see that protest about Palestine maybe a year ago, when they're not protesting about that now. Now we're protesting about a no new kings. Why didn't you say anything about that protest? Because it doesn't matter to you. You want to talk about what doesn't matter to you? This shit don't matter to you. You make enough money. You live in wherever you live in a great house. You got a beautiful wife and kids, if you do have them. None of this shit matters to you, and that's the issue that I have. Everybody that votes Republican seem to be just okay, handy dandy, and this shit really don't affect them. Because they ACA is not getting cut off. They EBT nothing's happening to them. And they will vote for this man a third time if he was young enough and was willing to break the Constitution like we know he was the first time around. That's the issue. That's my problem, Fatty. I don't give a damn about North Korea. That's just me personally, if we want to talk about it.
Damn. So I have a question for Dr. Messi. What do you think about what CT's statement was? Like, people, y'all enlisted, right? Like, what do you think about that statement? Are you in favor of boots on the ground? And just because you enlisted into the American army, would that would you be in favor of actually those troops go over there to fight a war?
I come from a complete military family: uncles, aunts, grandfathers, father, stepfather, sister, nephews, and half of my chat, I think, is veterans. So we salute veterans. I salute veterans, and I thank you for your service. When you sign up and you sign on the dotted line, you know what you're signing up for, just like any other job. So because it's Donald Trump, in my opinion, it's got to be how could he? It could be any president. You serve at the direction of the commander in chief, which is the president. I'm sure other presidents have started wars, and I'm sure people have gone and died. Do I believe in this war? Me personally, I don't think it was necessary, but I still say you signed up to be in the military. You have to do what you're told. Just like somebody in my chat just said, you signed up to be a police officer. You go out there, you do your job. There's a chance that you won't come home. You are a skyscraper window washer. You might die. It is what it is. So that's my thought process on it.
HQ, why is you wrong?
I don't think she's wrong. You signed up for it. Yes. That doesn't mean we can't criticize our government for taking us to war when we don't think we should be in war. That's all we're saying. What we're saying is you took us to war with no legitimate reason. We don't like it. It is what it is.
So let me get Jeremy over here. No, I see you, chaotic. This list, like, I want to see the temperature of the room. Because again, there's ex-militaries. Seems like Messi comes from a military family. Jeremy was very harsh, like he had a visceral reaction about it, Jeremy. Like, why is she wrong? You enlisted for something. You have to do it just like any other profession. You probably don't want to be on the fries, but you work at McDonald's. The fries it is. Somebody told you to go there. Like, why is the military different when it comes to deploying troops on the ground?
I stated earlier that if the commander-in-chief, in so many words, said you got to go, you got to go. But I don't agree with it. I'll also go so far as to say that why do we have things called war crimes if some things you shouldn't follow? I also add to that and say, hey, I understand that we have to do this, but if they are literally giving you directives that are not making sense and they're not telling us everything that we need to know, not saying that you're supposed to know everything, because, hey, I was in the military too. You go where you're supposed to go, you do what you're supposed to do. But this is a war. So what's the objective? The reason why I have an issue with that is because I actually have friends that are active right now, and I'm worried about them. I don't think it's right because this is not our fight. This literally has nothing to do with us. We could have just let them do what they were going to do, what they've been doing this whole time.
I have a follow-up question, Jeremy. Should the United States have went to Afghanistan and Iraq?
No.
Ooh-wee. Damn. I guess lesson learned. Go ahead, chaotic, and then I'll ask the follow-up question I have for y'all.
Fatty, you are a foreigner as far as I'm concerned.
I am a foreigner. No,
you're
I
Portuguese.
am. Right now is 2 a.m.
I see so many people in denial, not just on this panel, but just overall. It's survivor's guilt, right? It's
what?
Hear me out.
You need to be careful with what you're saying.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. I was quiet. I had my hand raised, but I was quiet.
I'm
It's
just letting you
survivor's
know.
guilt. It's survivor's guilt, Fatty. It's Fatty, you ever won at something so much? It could be anything, like a video game or whatever in life, or you were number one in your class, and you looked at the people in your classroom and felt bad for them. Like, these stupid people. You felt bad for them, right? You ever felt bad for somebody when you won something? Like you won and you felt bad because to a degree it's lonely at the top, right? Or you think that success should be shared. I'm on a panel full of goddamn American imperialists, and they're bitch and oh man, we shouldn't have gotten into this war. Can you imagine this? A panel full of winners. Well, I mean, you know, we yeah, you sign up and you know, but we can still, you know, if we don't like something in the government, they're in denial, Fatty. My American patriots. They're in denial. We've been winning since 1776. We've been winning that long, Fatty. And to a degree, yes, Fatty, I look at the success of this great country. And then I look at other countries. I look at shithole countries over in Africa, the Middle East. I go to Google Map and say, God damn, I'm so happy I was born in America. And then even to a degree, sometimes I feel like, God damn, man, I feel bad for them. But then something hits me. Maybe this is just destiny. Maybe God wanted me to be here in this country. Fatty, there's nothing wrong with imperialism. It's nothing wrong with policing all the straits. It's nothing wrong with keeping your foot on Islam's neck. It's nothing wrong with taking oil from all these other countries. There ain't nothing wrong with it. And I'm going to tell you why, Fatty. Because 300 million Americans are going to do something tomorrow morning. They're going to wake their American asses up, regardless of how much the gas is or not. They're going to complain, oh, yeah, you know, the straits are all choked up and the gas is $2 more. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. But this same American probably is driving a $200,000 goddamn car and wearing $1,000 worth of clothing items. They're still going to get into that gas guzzling car. They're still going to go to their 6-figure job, Fatty. Man, when I listen to these Americans, not just the people on the panel, Fatty, I'm talking about overall. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit. A country full of imperialists got their are pretending to be sad about kids that they'll never see. For all we know, it could just be propaganda. For all we know, we don't really know if those kids died or not. If all this shit could be, they make up wars. Man, the media is really good at it. This on Fox News, this white boy, he's in front of a green screen pretending to be in Israel. I was like, man, look at this dude. Fatty. It took me to be damn near 40, Fatty, to accept the fact that I am an imperialist. I am benefiting off of a government that has submarines all over. We have satellites looking at every country. We have an allied state. You think that Israel isn't fighting shit? They do a lot of shit behind the clothes, but they do a lot of Mossad does a lot of shit you probably wouldn't even know about. And that intel from Mossad, it works wonders for the USA. So I say have that, and I say another 300 years of American supremacy. Go ahead, guys. I'm done.
Hey friends, I wanted to move the conversation, but Chaotic actually he torpedoed my hopes of this moving up. And shout out to Sean Antonio for joining the conversation. I appreciate you, brother. Friends, we are going to close the show on the Team Fatty side, okay? There's 200 and something of y'all right now, 900 people watching in total, so I appreciate y'all. Please, the show is going to redirect you to the white channel, to the Wake Up Fatty show. Make sure you go there and make sure you subscribe. We know need subscription, we need watch hours, so let's go to the white channel and let's end the show. If you're watching these on any other platform, please go ahead and support the content creators. We're going to read all the super chats regardless, okay? So if you're on the Team Fatty show, click on the redirect. I see you on that side. Anyone wants to reply to anything that CT said?
No, I just want to make a statement that I find it very
just to clarify, guys, Dr. Messi, you are absolutely right. I want to be clear. In 2006, at 18 years old, I knew what I was signing up for. We was knee deep in both them damn wars. And here I go right onto the recruiter station because I'm like, I don't want to go to college, but I don't want to be in my mom's house either. So, I get that. But I'm glad you also clarified that just because that is the reality doesn't mean we should just be reckless with lives. Because, for example, guys, I'm a liberal. Think y'all guys kind of understand that by now. I'm a huge Obama fan, but he has flaws. Just because we destroyed Libya successfully doesn't mean we should have been in Libya in the first place, right? We gotta be able to acknowledge those things. And so let's make sure that when we're saying we don't want our military, we want boots on the ground, we're not criticizing the troops. We're criticizing the decision making from the leadership. That's all I want to clarify.
Correct. And I'm gonna add to that and say I find it very ironic that people who did not sign up feel like they have the ability to tell us whether we knew what we did when we did it. If you have not done that, that is one of the few things, unfortunately, you can speak on, but make sure that it's your opinion.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is they also in the USMJ, you got to take unlawful orders. Matter of fact, they threatened Congress people to remind troops that they don't have to do that. So again, you're right. You may have signed up for one thing, but you still have a ethical / moral decision to make as an individual trooper or troop that they make sure that you study up and read each year. Because I'm recently out of the military. From the looks of you guys, y'all been out for a minute, and I could be wrong, but I think y'all been out for a minute. So we had CBTs still going about the Uniform Code of Justice, CBTs about armed conflict, LOA, CBT. Like they give you computer-based training so that you pay attention and know what you can and can't do. So even though you sign up for some, if you do not think that it's appropriate or it's again or whatever the case or it's unlawful, of course you can go to your first sergeant or whoever else, depending on what branch you have people to contact about that, right?
That's what first sergeants exist for.
Exactly. But again, unless you've been in the military, how would you know that, right? They think it's just this mindless, but that's not all the way.
I think it's a bit offensive to say that I don't know anything just because I haven't been in the military.
I didn't say that.
I'm not talking directly to you. I'm just saying, period, at all. I'm just saying in general. I'm not sure if Jeremy was directing what he said to me or not. But what
I don't know I don't know whether you've been in the military or not, and I didn't say that you couldn't have an opinion, but it has to be an opinion. Just like if you talk about what a doctor does, if you talk about what a doctor does, and you're not a doctor, then it's still an opinion.
Do with the point of what the job is and what people sign up for. Now, if people decide that they're not going to do what they signed up for, whether it's the military or anything else, the consequences are yours. That's it. That's all. I don't have to be in the military. Nobody has to be a window washer. Nobody has to be whatever to know that you can do whatever you want to do. Just be ready for those consequences.
I'll say it again.
Is that when you sign up for the military, you are at the
at the behest. You're at the behest of the commander in chief.
Which president it is. That's all. That's
within reason. Within reason.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not going to change what I said. I'm going to say it again.
I'm just
because I think you might have not heard what I said. I didn't say you couldn't have an opinion. We live in America.
You can
say whatever you want to say, but just know that it is an opinion.
The consequences are yours.
Say again.
That goes along with it as well. The consequences are yours with whatever it is that anybody says.
Right. And just as long as we know that you can't, if you are not a 5-star chef, you can't go in the kitchen and tell them they should have made it this way.
What I can do is say that you decided to go into that profession. So whatever happens in that profession is what happens in that profession. If you decide to go into this profession and you decide not to follow the direction and you get fired or you can't work here anymore, then that's what happens. That's all I'm saying.
I have a question.
Military persons.
I have a question. Can y'all quit? Like you are in a situation of war. Somebody says something that is clearly like is justifiable. Can y'all say I quit? Can y'all do that?
You can definitely not do it.
If it's say that
without consequences. Without consequences. Of course.
That's going
Did you say justifiable or unjustifiable?
So let's assume that you are enlisted.
Here's a perfect example, Patty. Perfect example is Pete Hegseth. You remember Pete Hegseth double tap issue that came up a couple months ago?
Yes.
the person who told the double tap could have said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And they wouldn't have got any consequences for that.
So right now, if I'm enlisted in the U.S. Army and they tell me I need to deploy to Iran, can I quit with no consequences? Can I say, I don't think this war is lawful. I don't think I'm orders. Can you just say, no, I'm not going?
If you have orders and you refuse those orders, you will go to a military court and you can be held accountable for that. Either you're going to be dishonorably discharged, which is going to ruin your life, or you're going to go to military jail. You're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to have to try and explain via why it is that you're trying to get out. And nobody can, like, there's no certainty that you're either going to go to jail or be dishonorably discharged. In our society, if you leave the military without an honorable discharge, you basically cannot get a job. Like, you're seen as you've ruined your life. So you could have been 17 right out of high school and said, hey, I want to help my country. And, you know, this man is not in office. This man comes in office now. All of a sudden your world gets turned upside down. You get orders to go overseas and you have no option, basically.
Go ahead, Tarus.
Just to clarify what we mean with illegal orders, Fatty. Deployment orders are orders. Those are lawful orders. You have to follow those. And let's be clear, for anybody that wants to try to play semantics, let's get it out the way now. We haven't formally declared war in this country since 1942. Yet that hasn't stopped us from getting in the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the first Gulf War, and all the other wars since then. So let's not play any games with the technicalities. What was the initial initial pushback, Jeremy? With the I have to actually I actually have to defend Dr. Messi on this, Jeremy. First and foremost, bro, they pay our fucking bills, son. Like, how can I tell them they can't speak on what we doing? You know what I mean? Like just respectfully, bro, what I look like telling my American citizen who has helped me since 2015 when I got diagnosed with 100% combat PTSD. They've literally been paying my bills since then so I can finally be functional for my family. What I look like telling them they can't speak on the military. And,
so we're not going to move the goalposts, though.
He never said that. You never said that.
Yeah, we're not going to move the goalposts.
Yeah, he never said that. He never said that.
But you're criticizing her for saying you can't criticize the military.
That's not what I said.
That's not what he said either. He didn't say that.
Oh,
either.
I'll say it again for the 5th time. You can say whatever you want to say, but make sure it is your opinion. Don't state it as a matter of fact. Now, I will keep saying the same thing because unlike most people on these panels, I'm not going to let you twist my words. I thought about it. I said it. I stand behind it. That's it.
Okay, so based on the lawful order, what Dr. Messi said was still a fact, though, right? If we're going to stay, we're staying on the topic, right?
So if we're staying on the topic, I wasn't even talking to Miss Messi. That's why I was confused about the whole reason why Dr. Messi wanted to address me. I was talking to Mr. CTL down there because he went on a rampage, and I responded in a way that I thought would be a respectable way. Did I feel a type of way about it? Yes, I did. But I thought I conducted myself fine. Apparently, I didn't. But I'm still going to say what I said.
My bad, bro. I can see. My bad, Jeremy. Hey, guys. My bad for getting it wrong. My bad.
Look at y'all being grown adults and all that. Sean, how you doing, brother?
Thanks, Toto.
I'm good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you very much. I have 2 questions for you, Sean.
Okay.
Do you think the United States should send boots on the ground? And the second part is Messi mission right? If you're enlisted for the military, either be something that you agree or not, you should definitely grab your bag and get on that plane.
We should absolutely not have boots on the ground. I think that's sending people into an unnecessary death. I don't care if it's one person. I don't think that we should be in whatever they want to call this, a conflict, a situation. We shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be the people's bitch that we are. We just shouldn't be spending American taxpayer dollars for that, because the same conservatives that was whining about sending money over to the Ukraine war, now is silent on the fact that we still sending money to the Ukraine war and spending even more on this war, right? The same douchebags, conservative douchebags, are now silent. That's so weird to me. So no, we shouldn't send people to a death that has for some shit that has nothing to do with us. And my bad. What was the second question? The thing is, I you know, from everything I've heard, and I defer, of course, to these the heroes up here, man. Yeah, if something goes against what you think is right, then I think you should exercise whatever right they have, you know, to not do it. You know, to the degree that you can. I don't know. I've never been in the military, so I got to defer to them on that.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, yeah,
I want
my bad, Fatty. I'm sorry for going off the tangent. So
no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's the rules of engagement and like the illegal orders. So I have to take the deployment orders, right, Fatty? But if my direct chain of command tells me, "Hey, you got to shoot this kid," I could be like, "No, absolutely not. That is an illegal order. Like, hey, you need to go hit this guy we already tied up. You need to go hit him with your rifle." That's an example of a legal order that the UCMJ demands that we don't follow. You get what I mean? It's that's what they mean by not following illegal orders, is that sort of things. But in general, when your chain of command tells you to do something or go somewhere, you got to do
it. There's, I don't know if the system is the same, but like, because we don't have like the culture, like people in the military in Portugal or in Europe are not respected like that. See what I'm saying? Like the place where you clearly see that people have a tremendous amount of respect for military is the United States for sure, and the United Kingdom for the Royal Guards. It's not even for the regular military, it's for actually the people that are protecting the Queen and all these people. But for the most part, there's not that devotion for military people, because I think we live in times of peace for the most part. I think even the United States, if we were be honest with each other, the United States, nobody's going to fuck with the United States. Like even the most nastiest cartels that are 3 miles away from the border, they know exactly where the line is. They know, oh, I'm not going over there. We might go anywhere in the world, but we are not going to go over there. So I kind of understand how people get so like have such a sense of pride when it comes to US military. I just can't see it. Like, I respect firefighters because every fire they go, it's definitely a benevolent situation. Like 9 times out of 10 is a flood. You know for a fact these men are going there to save people. When it comes to the military, is a wishy-washy situation, because you can tell me the Israeli military is doing some righteous things. You can tell me the Nazi military was doing some like, see what I'm saying? Is all about aggression. Is power good? Depends. Are you the Avengers or are you Voltron? Right? What are you using that military from? So I don't think just because you are military you are automatically honorable. I think it depends on exactly what you're doing with that power. So we're going to leave it at that. I have a question, and look at Taruz and his wonderful neighbors with 3 dogs. Hi, neighbor. Nice to see you.
That's my daughter, man. Yeah.
Oh, there's your daughter. Question for y'all, right? Who is going to pay this? Because before I go to the super chats, and friends, you can super chat on this side by using the coffee situation. Our cash apps are completely empty. Y'all lucky. I don't live in Palestine because I wouldn't eat nothing today. If you want to support the show, once again, the Cash App and the PayPal are open. The question is, once again, who is going to pay this? Because they are kind of discussing a war bill, right? And Donald Trump wants the war bill to be paid by the Arab nations and the allies. Because this war, respectfully, is kind of serves the interests of some nations in the area. Israel, Saudi, we can go to Kuwait, all of these nations that are around that see Iran technically as a little bit of a threat. So do you think that the United States, because they actually got into it. Do you think they should foot the bill, or do you think they should actually make the countries involved actually foot it? Like, who do you think should get the bill? Go ahead, HQ, and then we go from there.
My bad, HQ. Yeah, we break it, we bought it. It's that simple.
And Sean, thank you very much for the cash app. I appreciate you, sir.
Now say that question again. Say it.
I will read it. Is why is the American taxpayer funding a war that secures the entire Middle East? Trump is demanding the war bill, forcing Arab nations and allies to pay every cent for the munitions we drop. Is it time to stop being the world's free security guard? Do you think the United States should foot the bill, or do you think we should pass the bill to those countries and those regions that actually are being secure because the United States make sure that there's no conflict around?
We should foot the bill. We started the war. That's just like spending all the money and then turning around and asking the people you gave the candy to, well, now I need the money back because I gave you candy. No, we are the ones who started the war. We are the ones who used the ammunition. We are the one who was responsible. So nobody else is responsible for that. If you could not fund the war, then you should not have gotten into the war.
I disagree with you, HQ.
Oh, let's go, Sean. Let's go.
It's time. You know who should pay for it? Our daddy. Y'all know who our daddy is.
Oh shit.
The motherfucker that put the battery in our back and got us over there. Them people. They should pay for that shit. Our daddy should pay for it.
Israel?
Yeah, they should pay for it. Because we breaking shit on their behalf, right? We cracking motherfucking heads on their behalf, right? We trying to put belt to ass on their behalf. Why don't they pay for that shit, right? Why not? This ain't what this got to do with us. I know my good fraternity brother, Chaotic Truth, you know what I'm saying? Like he would usually say, you know what I'm saying, we should stay out of these goddamn conflicts because fuck them people over there. So I would think he would agree with me on this. What do you think, CT?
I'm trying not to. I don't like Islam, you know. So
you're Muslim too.
So maybe this is not a good question for me.
Oh no,
particular people, because I think anytime you put boot to ass with those people, I don't really feel a certain way about them, to be honest with you, man. You know, and I'm willing to bet a lot of those Iranians would love to go back to how it was prior to the Islamic Revolution. You know, so they could practice. I forgot their religion. It was called Zionism or something. I can't remember. Zoroastrianism. I can't think of the damn name.
It's really check cleared this month. My bad. I'm sorry.
I just don't really. It's not that I hate them. It's just that I think that Islam is the worst institution ever. So I really believe that the West has every right to police those people whenever they feel free to do it. I just really believe that shit for some reason, man. Bro, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not the best person to ask this question.
That's what Israel. Who should pay for the shit?
Oh, I mean, America. I mean, come on. Come on. America should pay for it. I mean, obviously.
Whose conflict is it?
Sean, it's a doom loop. They're using our taxpayer money. We send them to do this shit, man. It's just a doom loop.
You're an extremist.
No, friends. 1 second, Izo. Sean is 1,000% right. Y'all have opinions about where the money goes every day. You should go there. You should go there. We shouldn't fund Ukraine. You should do this. All of a sudden, y'all can answer questions. Like, let's talk about it. We want to see. We want to know who. Like, what bill should the American taxpayer be paying, and what bill should the American taxpayer lend to it? Let me give an example. It was a very popular idea that the United States should send the bill to European countries for the, I don't know how many years of NATO money that they didn't pay. Like, it was a very popular idea that says, hey, these people are not paying their due. Please send the money because the American taxpayer shouldn't be paying for things that the other countries are not, right? US aid, which in my opinion was a tremendous shot in the foot because now the United States don't have soft power nowhere in the planet. Like there was a bunch of cuts that Americans are like, we are not going to fund trans therapy in da 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 da. Can we have an honest conversation about this money and who should pay it like we have all the time, or are we going to play the code and politics?
Fatty, before I forget this
because
real
the
quick.
obvious answer is we all know the taxpayers are going to foot the bill.
Sure, we all know the yes.
Every last one of us and everyone watching the show is paying.
Yes, and I see you, Septic and HQ. Please don't forget what you were going to say. Make notes. Go ahead, Chaotic, because you please answer the question.
This young lady below me, Skeptic, said something very interesting. She says, and I'm quoting, "You are an extremist." Think about this. Here goes a wealthy American sitting on the panel having third world savior complex, right? Over in Iran, Skeptic will have to be covered up. Over in Iran, Skeptic wouldn't talk to me. She wouldn't talk to Sean, Tarus, Fatty, Cheeky. She wouldn't be able to talk to us.
Yes, she would.
No, she.
Iranians are Persian. They are not the Arabic fundamentalists. Like, Arabians are Persian.
And what's
If you
funny,
actually,
what's so
Iran
funny
has.
is I used to be part of a Muslim sect when I was a teenager, and I did this willingly. I covered my head. I used a hijab. I
would love
actually
to
used
talk.
long sleeves from the top to the bottom. Like
wasn't done
it's
talking.
yeah, you are an extremist. You're a Christian extremist on the opposite side. If you were Muslim, you would be the extremist on the other side that would be
Ma'am,
saying, "I'm
finish.
okay with Christians dying. I don't
Ma'am,
care."
I'll let you reply, CT. Go ahead and interrupt it. And then HQ, please.
I never said that the Iranians were Arabs because they are not Arabs.
Sure.
Okay. They don't even, as far as I know, they speak a completely different language. I think it's Farsi. But what I'm saying is, over in Iran right now, women indeed are persecuted. Women indeed have no rights. I watched a beheading one time of an Iranian woman. It was horrifying.
Sure.
That system over there, Islam, let's be honest about it, Skeptic. You guys don't want that shit over here in America or in the West. So I figure like this.
But y'all do.
I'm sorry, Fatty. What you say, buddy?
But y'all do. Y'all align with them. No abortions. The woman should listen to the man. The woman should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Don't talk to your husband like that. No trans, no gays. Cut your hand if you steal. Law and order. Family first. Y'all conservatives agree with everything those motherfuckers agree on the Middle East.
Slavery. They want slavery for sure.
They're the same, just from a different spectrum. It's just a different spectrum of them.
I know. CT, and interrupted. But tell me, what is the difference between a MAGA conservative and people that literally push the same traditionalism on the Middle East and say, no gays, no woman should go back in the kitchen, stop fucking everybody? Like, what is the difference?
Give me the Iranian MTG. Give me the Iranian Jasmine Crockett. Give me the Iranian Corey Bush. Give me the Iranian AOC. Give me the Iranian Oprah Winfrey. Give it to me. Give me the hold on a second. Give me the Iranian Kathy Hochul. In this country, though I will admit conservative households, it does seem like the woman is under, a patriarchy, right? It's not like how it is over in those countries where women have no say-so or little say-so. So let's just be honest about that. Let's just be completely honest about this, Fatty. Now, you live over in Portugal, Fatty. Now, you should be ashamed of yourself for doing this right now. But you know what I'm talking about, Fatty. You've traveled throughout Europe. You know how Muslims are. Come on, bro. I can't.
But here's the thing that chaotic.
Let me answer, please. Let me answer. Muslims are awesome. They are some of the most hard worker people in Portugal. Every time you go to, every time I order food, like I'm going to order after the show, is somebody at 3 a.m. in the morning working for 12-hour shifts. They literally are doing agriculture. They are literally right now the art of the country, because Portugal is a very old country and they need young people to do these jobs that nobody wants to do. So what you're trying to do, Chaotic, is actually counterproductive, because when y'all bomb those countries over there, And right now, there's 200 million people involved because people are fleeing Dubai. People are fleeing the Iran. People are fleeing, like these people are going over here. They're not going to the United States. They're literally grabbing a motherfucking plane and saying, Paris, here I come. So even if they were that bad, there's no reason for me to support them, because if y'all are against immigration, y'all should make sure that your allies don't suffer millions and millions and millions of immigrants that just fled in their area, not because they are savage, not because they are lazy, but because they like electricity, water, and the chance to prosper just like every other person in the motherfucking planet. You are not going to do me they send you the worst of the worst over here. No, they don't. The first generation of immigrants in most countries is super hard worker. They just don't go there just to fuck shit up for the most part. You can reply, Septic and Cheeky, please. And I think HQ wanted to say something and interrupted. Go ahead.
Real quick, Fatty. Between 2010, I just looked it up. 2010 and 2004. 2024.
Sure.
There were over 250 women beheaded. Okay, buddy.
Why? Well, 1 second. Is this an appeal to emotion? Is this an appeal to emotion?
In Iran, under that regime.
Is it an appeal to emotion?
Give me 250 American conservative women.
Are you in favor of the death penalty in the United States? Are you in favor of the death penalty on the United States?
Got him.
The Iran.
He said kill all the niggas in the hood.
Regime.
Did he say yes? What was the answer?
You're not answering the question. Answer the question.
All the niggas in the hood up and kill them. That's what you said.
Hey, Fatty, you want to take my spot?
Right no. Hey, friends, let him go on a long walk. I'll ask him again after he finishes. Go ahead, Kartik. I got you.
I know you are not an American, but in America, we have checks and balances. We have due process. Yes, I support.
ICE doesn't agree with you.
I support the death penalty, Fatty, because a lot of people that are on death row deserve it. But because a woman may have said, "I don't want to be with you anymore," and then the husband beheads her, and then the state says, "Well, it's just part of relationships." That's the difference. That happens in Iran. I saw a beheading of a woman who didn't want to be with her husband anymore, and he chopped her fucking head off, and he was walking around with it. It was horrifying. This type of shit doesn't happen in America, where the government will support his ass, but the United States government, the local, the state, and federal governments aren't going to support a man doing that here in America. That's the difference, buddy. That's the difference.
So quick response and then repeat the question. You are familiar with Guantanamo? Y'all don't care about checks and balances at all. Y'all don't give a fuck about that shit. Y'all grab somebody, make them disappear, and y'all don't care about nothing. The United States is the biggest gangster on the planet. If they want to get somebody out of here, you are the only place.
Why do you care? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off.
I care because you said I care about checks and balances. I'm just using your own words. Most of the people are not even against ICE deporting illegals. The problem is the checks and balances. Y'all don't care. Y'all will put people on a motherfucking plane, send them to Guatemala, and then when you find out that the motherfucker actually is Venezuelan, now you have a massive problem in ends because y'all didn't do the due diligence. So for whatever reason, locally you agree in checks and balances, but now that Iran is doing the same thing that y'all doing, all of a sudden is a problem. The question, there was a question, Chaotic. Do you agree with the death penalty?
Yes.
So why are you against them when they just do it faster? They just do it faster. That's the only reason. They say, you committed a crime, off with your head. Y'all say, you committed a crime, you're spending 20 years in jail, so I can get off with your head. What's the difference?
In other countries, particularly countries like Iran, they have arbitrary laws, bro. So a husband can kill his wife, and then he can say to the government, well, according to the Bible or according to the Quran or whatever the fuck, I was justified to doing it. And he won't get arrested, bro. That's the difference. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's what I was saying about the dangers of Islam. Hell, Skeptic, if she was supposedly a Muslim at one point, she knows what I'm talking about.
Here's the thing that he's conflating. Number one,
conflating.
The reason why I said that you were an extremist in the same aspect is because you said you didn't care about them not living. because you said I don't care about Muslims like that. So I'm the wrong person to ask because I really don't care whether they survive it or not. And so this is why
I
I'm
didn't
saying,
say that.
hold on. This is why I'm saying we can roll the
did say
tape
that.
back because I'm sure that it was recorded.
But I
Whenever you
didn't
were
say it
asked,
like that. I
you
did
were
not say
asked a question. You said, I'm not the person to ask this to because I don't care about Muslims. So the same way that you're saying that as a Christian is the same way that Muslims are saying that about you as a Christian. They're saying, I really don't care about these Christians, and I really don't like the way that they try to impose their mindset on other people. And let me finish by saying this. In the US, Fatty, I don't know if you knew this, they kept a woman alive so they could cut out a baby out of her and then just let her live and made her family pay for the health insurance, for the health, all the health bills, because that's what our government wants to do. They also want to pimp out women. They told little girls that when you graduate high school, have more children than you can afford. And you know what they're doing at the same time? They're cutting down on welfare benefits. They're cutting down on SNAP benefits. They don't want to help women, but they want to tell them to have a lot of babies because they want the white population to go up. They're telling white girls to have babies in the US. And then they're telling people, they're telling women, they're trying to get rid of their vote in the SAVE Act. They're trying to make sure that your ID and your birth certificate matches. And if it doesn't, you cannot vote. Who are the people that have to change their names in the US? Women that get married have to change their last name in the US. So America is just as oppressive on women than other countries. It's so self-serving of you to say, oh, here I am going to sit on my high horse and say we treat women any better, when in reality, men in America are probably just as bad and want to put women back in the kitchen, have them barefoot and pregnant and depending on a man, and not even allow them to go and get a college education. They took away the professionalism for nursing women. Well, you know who are the majority of nursing students in the US? Women. They took that away from being a professional career. So now they cannot get help from the government. Now they're not seen as professionals. There's certain things that they cannot be helped with. And you know what that's negatively affecting? Women. DEIA, guess who that was benefiting? DEIA was up in a high number benefiting women. Guess who got fired in high numbers? Almost 500,000 women were fired from federal jobs in the US because DEIA was implemented under Doge Department. And you know what happened? When they asked the Doge white little boy, hey, can you define for us what DEIA is? He couldn't define it. He said he looked it up on AI. ChatGPT was telling him what DEIA meant. And that's how he was firing people. Please miss me with I care about women in the Middle East when you don't care about women in your own country.
Got your ass.
Skeptic,
Damn, son.
you don't come off as a feminist in your appearance. Man, are you? I mean, this is bad, what I just heard from you. I'm willing to bet, Skeptic, you made between $80,000 to $100,000 last year. I'm willing to bet, Skeptic. I'm willing to bet you probably own a foreign car. I'm willing to bet, Skeptic, you are a social butterfly, Skeptic. I'm willing to bet you have a very nice job. Skeptic, you are not oppressed, ma'am.
Exactly.
HQ, I'm willing to bet HQ has a nice nest egg in retirement. I'm willing to bet HQ has had a high-powered position in life. I'm willing to bet Dr. Messi is living in a 3,000 square foot home. None of you chicks on this panel, I know Messi wasn't a part of this, but none of you women on this panel.
Mansion with the piano. Look at the piano.
None of you women on this panel are oppressed in America. Skeptic, I went to college 20-something years ago. I was in class sometimes, and I would be the only dude in the class. What the hell are you talking about, Skeptic? This country literally pedestalizes women. Our goddamn vice president, who was a damn drunk, she was a woman. What are you talking about?
Do you know when women got the right to even own their own bank accounts?
One second. One second. I allowed CT to do this the whole show. CT, do you care about Muslims? Yes or no, please? Because this is actually, to me, was the most powerful point she made. You say you don't care about those people, but then you say, look at the Iranian woman being beheaded. So can you answer that question, please, CT? Do you care about Muslims? Yes or no?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this again. I truly believe, as an institution, Islam is one of the worst institutions in the last millennia.
Okay.
With that being said, the human being element behind it, of course, if I hear that 125 children are killed, of course, as a human being, I feel a certain way.
You said you didn't care.
Wait a minute.
I did not say I didn't care.
You
bro.
said nobody here cared, actually. You said nobody.
You did say that.
You said it. You said nobody cared.
Say that.
You
Do you
said
guys
it.
want me to- do you guys want me to go on mute? Because I go on mute.
No, you know
But
what?
I'm
You are
saying-
right. I
I'm
apologize.
saying is you guys are picking and choosing when to have compassion and when not to. Because when you turn on your $1,000 phones, you don't have that same kind of compassion for the little beautiful black children who had to strip mine the goddamn cobalt to make the damn phones. So what I'm saying is that you guys are on a high horse as Americans. Okay, let me just reframe that because I don't want you guys to think I'm a monster.
Lord.
The fact of the matter is, you don't care about Uyghur children. I'm gonna say it again. You don't care about them children in North Korea who have to read books about Kim Jong-un and who have to pretty much worship him from birth. Y'all don't care about that. Islam, Fatty. Thank you, Fatty. Islam is diabolically opposed to secularism and change.
Sure.
It's a horrible institution. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it at that.
You know how you can tell when CT is getting the belt when he keep threatening to rage quit. That's how you can tell when he getting the belt.
I was just about to rage quit. I'm not gonna lie.
And he still ain't answered why the fuck Israel shouldn't pay for this conflict.
No, you ain't answered
They
that
pay
yet.
for it. ACT. It costs like your boy just said. He just canceled. He's saying that the state should take care of childcare, right? We get about $31 billion in subsidies. This ain't the government money. This is our money that the government allocates. This war has cost more than that already, bro. How that make sense? You should be a fiscal conservative, right?
I don't know, man. How does it make sense, Sean? Go ahead, buddy.
I'm asking you. How it makes sense.
I have no idea, man.
I think
you don't want to know what you don't know.
Screaming from the mountaintop, CT.
You don't want to know what I think about money, bro. I think I'm gonna be honest about it. I think the shit is made up. I think it's bullshit. I think it's just digits on a computer, man. So I truly like to ask, should Israel pay for it? What would they be paying for? They just make this shit up anyway. What would they pay for?
That money is
You really believe that money's real? You really believe that shit?
It wasn't a figment when we was about motherfucking sending money overseas to Ukraine and shit, bro.
Just to make sure, right? Just to make sure. City, what's your opinion about the welfare system on the United States? Are you in favor of it or you are against?
Of course I am. Of course I'm in favor of the welfare system in America.
Like Section 8, all these, like, of course. Okay, so are you sure?
I'm 100% positive, bro. Yeah, I believe in any society should always have a safety net for certain individuals within the society. Of course, yeah, of course.
Because like I said, you actually caught me off guard because I had no like you're very colorful in your commentary, right? When you talk about like welfare queens and all that. So I'll respect your opinion and I'll leave it alone. You know what? You're not John Galt. I might be confusing somebody, right? I might confusing something. But if you were the present king emperor of the United States, would these troops, and no, not troops, because troops are technically not there yet, would you just go ahead and say, we're done with this, this is their problem, this is not ours, we need to just focus on our people and make America first? Or would you say, no, let's continue what we started, because if we leave right now, we might leave something on the table? Like, what would chaotic the emperor truth would do?
Real quick, Tarus, are you familiar with Dick Cheney and his? There was a book written about him, the 1% Doctrine or something. I think it was called the 1% Doctrine. So basically, if there's one terrorist, that terrorist can pose a national or international problem. Or look at the Houthis, right? Look at what they were doing when they gained control of the western part of, I believe it was Yemen. Look at what they did to the Strait there. Look at how they choked up the Strait there with global shipping. America first, and I have to say this because I might be a neocon here. We have to police the planet, brother. We have to police the planet. Salute to everybody for sending over cash apps.
Thank you very much.
So to answer your question, Fatty, to keep this planet going around, to keep the supply chains, the institutions, the systems going, you have to pretty much eradicate problems. And a lot of our problems are radical Islam, bro. It's just the honest to God's truth, man. So yes, I as much as I wouldn't want to put actual human being bodies on the ground there. I mean, let's be honest, it's really drones are going to be there. You got to do it, bro. Dick Cheney even talked about it. Man, I hated Dick Cheney when I was in high school, man. But when I got older and smarter of how the world really works, man, what they're doing in Washington, man, is pretty exceptional. It really is when you start to think about it, man. You gotta do it. Our planet is full of Tarus, you went, come on, bro. You went overseas, man. You know our planet is full of animals, bro. Like we're in this little cushion in America. We're separated by 2 oceans. Let's be honest, Canada. Come on, man. That ain't really, bro. We are in the lap of luxury here, man. We have never seen certain types of acts of horrific violence that these people will actually do. We've never seen genocide in America. We've never seen. Well, I'm just saying, bro. Listen to me, bro. We've never seen IEDs in the street. We're not used to that. This stuff happens overseas, bro. We gotta do. We gotta
know how our country starts getting used to that, CT. When you destroy all of the soft power elements we had globally, and then you just start treating every situation with bombs and bullets. Right? This, by the way, is one of the reasons why the so-called communist China is whooping our ass globally and economically, because they seem to go everywhere and build roads and bridges, and all we seem to be able to do is sell bombs and bullets. There's a big discrepancy right there from a so-called capitalist country like us. But, I digress on that point. CT, your beef with all of this just doesn't make any sense, because I have to actually take it back to what Skeptic was saying and what people were what others were saying. Bro, this is Christian nationalism they're trying to start in this country.
Tarus.
CT.
Tarus.
CT. The spiritual advisor is over here addressing soldiers, chaplains, and things like that. Right? You got guys, and look, man, this is just the reality. An American citizen who happens to be a woman wants to hear a pastor say we want to repeal the 19th Amendment, bro. Nobody wants to hear about their rights being yanked away. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of messaging you're delivering on behalf of what, CT? You talk a lot about American exceptionalism, brother. And I think we need a new version of that, because the version you talk about is obsolete and is bringing our country down.
Fatty, you and I both know women shouldn't vote, bro. You and I both know that as men.
I don't agree with that.
Let's be honest about that. So
I don't agree with that at all.
No offense, Fatty. You're not even an American, so you.
Oh, so you changed it now? This man's Fatty. We agree, right? No, you're not even from here.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Hey, get Gothic out of here, man.
What you want? What is LeBron looking for?
Tarus.
No, Tarus.
First
I
of all,
ain't blowing you out, bro. Oh no.
They shouldn't even vote. But brother, you say that I'm a Christian nationalist. I never even said that. But what I do know is this. If Islam became a global hegemony, you know what they'd do? They'd do what they did for 2,000 years, buddy. They were some of the biggest enslavers in human history.
We agree. So
that's their history. Hold on, let me finish, Fatty. That's
Right.
their history. Everywhere they went, they plundered it. Every single place that these people went, they plundered it. You know what else too? This is why I don't even really have smoke for whites. It was the Muslims, the Arab Muslims, that devastated Africa and enslaved blacks for thousands.
What?
You can say what you want to say, brother.
What?
You
God,
can
they got you
can
crazy.
hey, bro,
Hey,
you can say whatever you want.
God.
They castrated. They castrated. Hold on for a second. Muslims castrated. Did they not castrate men? Fatty, come on, bro. So the thing of the matter is, you guys are acting like, you know how like white liberal women act, white women savior complex. You guys have third world savior complex, and I'm telling you, Islam is the worst institution, and I don't understand this love for these people.
Respectfully,
I just don't understand.
God, take respectfully.
Look at what they're doing in Nigeria. Look at what Muslims are doing in northern Nigeria right now, bro. Look at what they're doing in Nigeria.
So chaotic. This is the difference. Actually, like if you know anything about European history, when Muslims and the Moors actually
They
came
plundered
to Europe,
Spain, buddy, for 800 years.
Yeah, but they actually left heritage that was actually positive for the development of Europe, right? But if you actually look at colonialism, let me give you an example. King Leopoldo from Belgium, he used to go to Congo to literally chop black people hands and do like they were sports. 7 million of them died, worse than the Holocaust. So what we're going to do is this, right? Every single if you go to the Japanese, they have blunted the ends. If you go to the Chinese, they have blunted the ends. If you go to Europeans, the Africans, we are not going to play the game where the black people are good and the other ones are all bad. But you can tell me that 500 years of slavery and colonialism are a problem of the Muslims. The Muslims did it. No, it was the Europeans. And most of the wars on the last year was the Europeans. What was the country that started the First World War? It was not Muslims. Who started the Second World War? It was not Muslims. Who started the Chino-Japanese War? Was not Muslims. Who did the 9/11, Pearl Harbor? That was not the Muslims. Who tanked the whole economy 5 times in the last 100 years? It was not the Muslims. You can find me nothing in mass the Muslims did that massively damaged Western countries. But if I look at the United States, right, since the Contras war, the posing people, getting Gaddafi out of here, Saddam out of here, telling Ukraine, stop having nukes and we protect you, and then Russia attacks them, and all of a sudden, oh, we're not on the war, you guys got it. Like, if you actually look at the things that are being done, even this Israel problem was started by the British. They could put them anywhere in the planet, anywhere. They had enough power to say, hey, you black people over there, hey, you South Africans over there, hey, you South Americans over there, we are going to make this country right over here that actually needs a place to get these people. And they gave him the worst place possible based on some historical document that nobody recognized because might be make-believe. Respectfully, man, chaotic. If white people, and when I say white people, the British, decided to put Israel next to Argentina, nobody will give a fuck. Everybody will be safe. There will be no problem. You drop a nation that has a tremendous amount of power. They control banking, they control entertainment, they control the news stations, they control the politicians. You drop them around 2 billion Muslims, and now all of a sudden you are telling me that Muslims are the problem when since the beginning of the time since they got there, they've been trying to overrun Iraq, they've been trying to overrun Iran, they've been trying to overrun every single country that opposes to their existence. So respectfully, man, you can put that shit on Muslims at this point. It's like me dropping a Muslim city in Utah and then complain because people from Utah that are ultra white are very upset that Muslims are changing their way of living and that's their land. You know that shit will be trouble. United States wouldn't take it. Y'all took land from the Mexicans. If Mexico decide to take Texas back, you will fuck him up so fast it's not even funny. But now all of a sudden the other people have to take it because they believe on an inferior religion. That makes no sense. I want final thoughts on these, and then I have a last question for the show because I promised 3 hours and I don't want to keep you here for long. I'm going to start with Messy Michelle because she be quiet. Final thoughts on this little topic, especially you, Chaotic. You have 30 seconds to 1 minute to lie to us. And by the way, let me just point out, you didn't answer no question, Chaotic. We tried 4 questions, and instead of you answering, you do this. Hey, Chaotic, what is 1 plus? Chaotic, what is your favorite color? And you say, hey, HQ, the rainbow. The rainbow is a complex entity. Like you like to triangulate, send it to the next person so you don't have to question. I just want to know have to answer. Just want to point out you didn't answer none of those questions, so you got it. Go ahead.
I'll give up my 30 seconds to Skeptic. Go ahead, Skeptic. Go ahead.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, go ahead, Skeptic.
I do want to correct one thing that you said. You said that there was never a genocide in the U.S. A third of the indigenous people that were here prior to Europeans coming into this land were unalive. They were done away with. And these people literally gave blankets with germs and
the
diseases.
United States of America.
This was in the United States of America. This is what is currently the United States of America, and unalive these indigenous people. Not only
The
that,
United States of America.
yes, this was in the United States of America. After the inception of the United States of America, they were still under British rule, but still, it was the United States of America. It is part of the history of this nation. And not to mention the fact that when you talk about the transatlantic trade that was brought here, when you talk about black codes, when you talk about Jim Crow, when you talk about the bombing of Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when you talk about all the lives that were taken in the South by racism, what are we talking about? There has been plenty of genocide in the United States of America. It's a slap in the face to the history of the U.S. to say that there hasn't been a genocide here. There has been multiple genocides done by white men, particularly in the South, particularly towards people of color. So yeah, it has happened here.
Skeptic, do you know that since you're so smart and you know everything?
I never said that.
The definition of genocide? No, I got that from Precious in the movie Precious.
Never said that. I'm not a self-proclaimed. I'm not a self-proclaimed intelligent person. I'm just saying.
Do you know the definition of genocide? Do you know the UN's definition of genocide?
No, I do not.
Okay.
So
there
give
was
it
no
to
genocide
us.
in the United States of America. The United States of America was founded in 1776. The Constitution, was ratified in 1789. The importation of Africans ended in, I think, 1812 or something, right? With 20 years after the country was founded. When you talk about the blankets with the Indians, ma'am, that second grade story told to us may or may not have happened, but that happened.
We know by journals. We know by journals of the people that came here during Beacon's Rebellion that they told us themselves. They told us. They told us. I'm telling you by historical evidence that I have that I've read.
Before the United States of America was founded, that's what I said. The United States of America.
I gave you 2 examples. I gave you, and I said the inception. I said from the beginning of this country even becoming, it was colonies here, and it was in the United States. It was what is now the United States. So it is historically relevant to us to put it like that.
Ma'am, what happened at Tulsa was not a genocide. 3 or 4 Negroes being killed, and whites were killed too. That's not a genocide, man.
It was not 3 or 4. It was a whole community that was killed because a white woman falsely accused a black man of something that was not true.
Let's say it was 50. It's still not a genocide.
What is the number? What is the number?
It was a whole part of a city in Tulsa, Oklahoma that was bombed. It wasn't just shooting with guns. It was bombed. And there is a whole city. I've been there before, actually. I go to Tulsa once a year, and we go to Greenwood. It's called Greenwood now. Yes, I do know what the whole area is.
Years ago when it was
I've been to Greenwood now, and I've read the history of Greenwood. They were bombed. They were not just shot up. It was multiple parts of the city that was bombed
genocide,
up.
Skeptic.
Right, but I'm just letting you know.
Why do you distinguish the United States? Right? Are you talking about like when it got independence from Britain? Are you saying
the United States of America as an entity started in 1776, and 1789.
And there,
Okay,
there
wait.
wasn't a bunch of massacres in like
Wait, hold on, no,
California and shit.
wait. So if that's the
California
case,
wasn't a state.
if
Oh
it-
my God, Fatty,
what,
this is
give me the year again. Hold on, let me know the year so I make sure I'm doing my research correctly. You said what year again?
the
Hold on.
Constitution was ratified in 1789. So technically, the United States did not really start functioning as an entity until 1789.
1830s, Trail of Tears.
That's not genocide. Oh,
Here it is. I'm going to read the definition of a genocide. The definition of is a deliberate killing of large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim to destroy the nation or group. And you mean to tell me that hasn't happened in the United States? Like, what are we saying?
You mentioned Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. That's 40 people.
I mentioned the South during Jim Crow and black codes in America is what I mentioned.
Yeah,
you mentioned genocide. The black.
Okay.
Okay, so let's assume that there were skeptic. Let's assume that there were black codes. Where was the genocide, ma'am?
Hold on. Wait, number one, you're saying let's assume as if black codes and Jim Crow didn't actually happen in the South. There were hangings. There were literally there was the migration that happened after the Civil War when people wanted to flee the South because they wanted to be free. And the South, the people that were these racist white men were killing people in large numbers for moving out of the South because they wanted to keep people here in the South to work for cheap. As cheap labor, even after being liberated.
Ma'am, what was the name of the period?
Like, are we okay?
What was the name of the period after slavery, ma'am?
I said black codes after slavery.
What was the name of the period after slavery? It begins with an R word.
Reparations. Reconstruction. Sorry.
Yeah, Reconstruction.
Ma'am, blacks.
But what does that have to do with what I'm saying, though?
Okay.
Because you pivot a lot. You're kind of like hard to you pivot
Black
all the time.
people didn't start really leaving the deep South until the 1930s. It's called the Great Migration. Up until the 1930s, man, blacks weren't really fleeing the South.
Okay, so hold on.
When you mention hangings, let me just finish. When you mention hangings, ma'am, supposedly there were 4,000 documented hangings between 1880 and 1920 or 1930, ma'am. Ma'am, you got cities in America right now that have 500 and 600 in the homicide rate for blacks. Is it plausible to assume, ma'am, that a lot of those hangings were these Negroes were probably just criminalized Negroes like George Floyd, and people got tired of their asses in them towns? Is it possible to assume that, ma'am? Is it possible to assume?
I'm gonna time out because this is
George
wild.
Floyd as Negroes in the South.
Bring in
HQ. In the town were tired of this mother effer and just hung the mother effer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
No,
that's
she
wild.
pressed the microphone.
No,
Go ahead,
that's
Chief.
wild.
No, go ahead, Chiqui. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just said we've been asking the wrong questions. We've been asking if he cares about, Muslims, and we need to start. Do you care about black people or Native Americans? Because I think he's made it clear he don't. We know we've been around CT long enough to know the real answers.
I care. At the end of the day, Chiqui. At the end of the day, I only care about my
White
wife,
Americans,
my mother and father. Those are the only black people that I should only care about. Now, when it comes to tribalism, yes, I will identify as black. But sir, there is no banks. There are no other institutions that I can go to as a black that are controlled by blacks. There are no black safety net institutions for me. So I don't have to have an allegiance towards blacks, even though I do.
Right.
But
the
thing is that I'm looking at this woman right here, Skeptic. She's a nice woman, very smart. It's like we are pissing on the greatest country in human history. Like we're trying to figure out something to say about America. Oh yeah, remember this, remember that? No, this is the greatest country. This is the country that gave peasants, nobodies, an opportunity to be somebody. And this is what we do to this country, Skeptic. This is what you're gonna do, Skeptic. You're gonna bring up Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're gonna do that. Are you really gonna do that today?
Wait. Why we ask? Why do you? So we're not gonna let you ask questions and you're not answering any. Do you think that Israel? Do you think that Israel deserves reparations for their agendas or for the Holocaust?
I believe that any survivor of the Holocaust is deserving of reparations. Yeah.
Do you think black people deserve reparations?
I'm 100% pro reparationist for blacks. Absolutely. I've done episodes on that. I've done shows on that.
Hey, Cheeky.
Okay, so now we got to ask the last question. Why shouldn't Israel foot the bill for the Iranian war?
I never said America. I never said Israel should. I never said Israel should.
I'm just asking.
I never said they should. I think that they should.
Oh, okay. That's
I never see you guys stop. I literally said
I
they
didn't say
should.
wait, chaotic. I didn't say that you did. I just now that we're asking questions and we getting answers. Sean, although you're going, my brother, I got you.
Hey, Cheeky, and this is why I think Chaotic is a caricature. Because when you actually tied him down to the things that he believes, he is nowhere near close the conservative douchebag. Do you believe in reparations? Yes. Do you believe in it? Yes. The only part, and even the woman voting thing, I don't believe him. I really don't believe him. I think he's just playing the character. I don't believe that he's against women's voting, no way, shape, or form. Because if he believes that, he believes that women are what did you call it? Second-hand citizens? Is that what you say?
Second-class citizens.
If you second-class citizens, and
True.
that will go, and that will tie with.
Reason why I believe women shouldn't vote.
One second, Chaotic.
Okay.
If you believe that women are second-hand citizens by taking certain rights because they shouldn't, don't you agree with the fundamentalists on the other, like on that side of the world that
Women shouldn't vote in America because they cannot protect America. That's why they shouldn't
So
vote.
Oprah shouldn't vote?
No, they cannot.
Even though she pays more taxes than you?
Are you? That's not even a question right there, brother. Women shouldn't vote. Voting should be for people who can protect the body politic. Only men can protect the body politic. If shit were to hit the fan right now, every single blue-haired liberal overnight would turn into a trad wife. Women can't protect the body politic.
So if you are a WWE diva, you can vote. If you are like China, if you are Ronda Rousey, you can vote.
I'm gonna say this again, man.
Just
because Ronda Rousey can beat up other women, and I ain't gonna lie, she
can beat up. Hey, I guarantee you,
she probably could beat me
Okay,
up.
now.
But brother,
tread
but
lightly.
fatty. Overall, even women know this. They can't protect the body politic. Politics should be for men, not women.
Yeah,
So,
but you didn't answer my question. That's crazy.
I just did. I said they shouldn't vote.
No. Like, okay, they shouldn't vote because they can defend themselves. Andrew Wilson.
No, I didn't.
Andrew Wilson is a man. He can open a pickle jar. Like, if you can open a pickle jar as a woman, should you now be able to vote?
I know that you're Portuguese and you don't know some of these words. I didn't say themselves. I said the body politic.
I will ask it again. Okay. We had, like, for example, the most powerful person in the European Union in the last 20 years is somebody called Angela Merkel. She was
she is Germany.
She was the German chancellor. She did a tremendous job. Like she killed it, right? I believe that you are competent enough to be elected an official, or to, like, you showed that you actually can prove that you're actually competent. I think you believe to do that. My question, Chaotic. Do you believe in exceptions?
America.
No, do you believe in exceptions? Let's do in the United States. Do you believe in exceptions that, let's go with baseline, women shouldn't vote, but if women are actually able to beat your ass, if women have $1 billion, if women are great contributors to society and inventors, they should be allowed to vote. Is there any exception that you would allow before I go to super chats?
Obviously, man, there would be exceptions under any. Obviously, Fatty, there'd be exceptions, right? I mean, you mentioned Oprah. I mean, my God. I mean, you are correct.
There's handicapped.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying,
there's handicapped men.
But let me just finish.
There's handicapped men. What are you talking about? So those men shouldn't vote?
Again, whether these men are handicapped or not, men can protect a society. I'm sorry. Men are physically stronger. Men build. Ma'am.
HQ, stop for a second. HQ, stop for a second. Hey, Chaotic, I don't want to interrupt you, Chaotic, right? Last of your two presidents are literally one fall away from death. Like Joe Biden and Donald Trump are literally one wrong foot on that step to just get out of here. And they are the most powerful people on the planet. They are the representation of physical incompetence, but a tremendous amount of power. And I can't even vote on motherfucking Jasmine Crockett because I have a vagina between my legs. How the fuck does that work? Hey, by the way, let me 1 second. Let me ask you this question. Chaotic, please answer this, right? Let me pick somebody on the chat. Hey, Jazz Noel. You know Jazz Noel, right? You know Jazz Noel?
No.
Okay. Do you know? Tell me one person that comes to your show on a regular. Oh, the Rebecca girl, that white girl, the big girl with the big girl. You know her, right? From the Gospel of Bob. He's like a white girl, like a big girl. RBN.
Are you RLM?
Yes, you know her, right?
Yeah.
Can she beat the shit out of Joe Biden right now?
Are you asking me, can a woman who's 30
can Rebecca beat the
90-year-old man? Yes,
beat the shit out of Joe Biden right now if they do?
But Fatty.
So she can vote.
Fatty, can I ask you a question, Fatty?
Sure.
See, you're not an American, and this is why I get a little offended when you talk about my country.
Damn.
In the 1800s, men built one of the greatest American mega projects. Do you know what that project is, sir?
X-Files.
The Erie Canal. Do you think women could have built the Erie goddamn canal? Do you know the function of the Erie Canal? Do you know why the Erie Canal is so important to America? Do you know why?
No, explain to me.
The Erie Canal opened up passageways so that trade could happen between the cities. They literally terraformed a landmass. That's the Erie Canal.
Sure.
I think it took 10 years to build it.
Sure.
Do you think women could have built the Erie Canal? Do you think that little women could have gone out there and built that shit?
I don't, and I get your point, but the problematic part with your statement is that I know enough about you. You keep saying that current Black Americans shouldn't be living in the past by the things that happened to their ancestors. Most of us motherfuckers are on the internet. We're not building no canal. We're not going to no war. We are sitting on an air conditioner. No, chaotic. You just said it. We are on an air conditioner, very safe era, and all these
$200,000 car.
Yes, a foreign car, nice to 100,000. If I can take the burden of my ancestors that were enslaved and colonized, men shouldn't get credit by shit that was built 200 years before they were living. Are you an accountant? No vote. Are you a mechanic and plumber? Go to vote because you work with your hands. Most of men are not, once again, defending themselves. They go to a random company, do some counting, just like this woman go to a random place. Just to
Fatty, why didn't women go get Maduro? Why didn't SEAL Team 6 or whatever SEAL team it was? Why didn't they have 3 women on the team? What was it? 6 people, 7 people? Why didn't they have half the team as women?
Because women already have cooking oil. They don't need.
Why didn't they? Hey, dude. See, you're not even American. If women can do everything, how come women weren't on that team to extract Maduro?
I didn't say
Why
that.
weren't women on that
1 second,
team
please.
to
I
extract
didn't say that women can do everything that men do. I think men, for the most part, run society, but I believe in meritocracy. I am on the side of, if you are George Bush's son and Chiqui's son is the most broke motherfucker in school, if Chiqui's son is way better than Donald Trump Jr. or motherfucking George Bush Jr., he goes to Duke instead of that real motherfucker. There's a lot of women. Again, I talk about women on a negative way when it comes to relationships, because I don't think women are they're logical when it comes to relationships. But I can get you, like, other than they become blah, 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 when they get into a relationship and they're like a man, I can find you millions of women that are extremely competent in whatever field they are right now. And if you go ask to their colleagues, even men, they say, hey, HQ is a
Show me the competent women that build skyscrapers or bridges. Show them to me.
But like I said, no, chaotic. You are telling me this.
Show me the competent.
No, chaotic. I'm going to answer you. I'm going to answer you. I can find it. But what you're doing is this. You are saying, show me a fish that can climb a tree like a monkey. Show me. Where is this fish that climbs trees like monkeys? Women are different. They are weaker. They are in roles of society that we are not. But let me tell you this, chaotic, respectfully, right? Between Baron Trump, whatever the fuck that gigantic kid is, and a woman that is raising the next generation of kids, and everybody, when they die, they're going to remember, I had this educator called Liz, and she was so awesome to me and my friends that I remember her forever. I believe that woman should vote before that little motherfucker rascal, even though he's a billionaire doing insider trading. Respectfully, man, it is what it is. And if you believe in that shit, if respectfully, if you believe that women shouldn't vote because they can build shit, 90% of men probably on the next 10 years are not going to vote at all, because AI and robotics is going to fuck shit for every motherfucking body. The men that are proud of building shit and all that, look at the military. Drones, robot dogs and shit. Wait 20 years, and I want to see exactly what is the excuse for not actually letting women vote when both of the people in the military are literally playing PlayStation controlling a robot like it's GTA 6 of Call of Duty. They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're doing that right now. Like
they were doing it when I was in there. Like,
but you see what I'm saying?
Like, it's already going.
If that woman is the best target getter because she's great flying drones, she should have the right to vote. It's about competency and meritocracy. I don't like to do that to women because you know what they're going to do next? I don't think black people should vote. I guarantee you. I believe that gay people shouldn't vote. If you allow people to be disrespected and disenfranchised because it's not you, guarantee you, if years go by, you are going to be next because people never stop. As soon as they remove women from voting, and this was an argument that I heard on another podcast, they were saying women shouldn't vote. It was Andrew Wilson's wife. Women shouldn't vote because that way Democrats wouldn't win. And I was like, oh, damn. The woman that was debating her said, so you are against black people voting because black people, for the most part, vote Democrat, right? And she's like, blah, 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 blah. If you are going to apply standards that are going to be spread around like a disease, like a pandemic, if you keep the same consistency, I believe that you should protect the people that are technically on that pool of attacked people, because you don't want to be the next person. And now everybody says, yup, you wanted what you wanted. Now don't complain.
Oh, but wait, before you move on.
And Chigi, take us on. Super chats, last question. We're out in 15 minutes.
I'm gonna have to dip after this anyway. But funny thing is, key figures like Barbara Ress, who led the construction of Trump Tower in 1980.
And 9 black women that helped us get to the moon, that helped NASA, like Katherine Johnson.
Look at her, we can't even handle it.
No,
they can vote.
One of my followers on TikTok, her aunt is one of the 9 women that literally was part of NASA. So I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but I know that they were real. So, like, to say that women are just not part of our society and have never been part of helping us in any way is honestly asinine.
Hey, Septic, you know what's terrible? Chaotic wife votes every year. I guarantee you.
I know.
I guarantee you, man.
He's educated and smart as shit. That's the craziest thing. It's always these men who got the most qualified women in the world talking about, I would take away her right. But I know she ain't walking in that room right now with her PhD or doctorate. He gonna be like, you know what? I got a little out of hand. My bad. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna be chaotic.
Skeptical. Who was the architect for Trump Tower? Oh, she left.
No, she didn't left. I was just rearranging the thing.
Who was the architect for Trump Tower? You mentioned Trump Tower, right? Who
no,
was the architect?
Cheeky actually mentioned that.
No, Trump Tower, the architect was a man. His name was Dur Scott. Who was the structural engineer? It was a man. What are you guys talking about, man? What are you guys? Do you honestly think Katherine, I forgot her name, Johnson, charted the trajectory to the moon. Are you crazy, skeptic? Do you not realize that it was a team of people that did those calculations? It wasn't just these 9 black women who did it. It was they were on a team of probably thousands of people.
And that's perfect. They are part of the team.
Right.
All of them should vote.
Right,
Yes,
right.
There's a part, right?
It made it seem like the movie made it. I didn't even watch the movie, but the movie made it seem like it was just these women. No, it was not. They would have gone to the moon without these broads.
I'm not just saying this because of the movie. I'm saying this because I'm a STEM major, right? I went to school for molecular and cellular biology. I'm actually back in school for cybersecurity. I know women. I talk to women that are in the STEM field. Women actually are the majority of a lot of careers in STEM. A lot of them are doctors. A lot of them are nurses. So like to say that women do not contribute to society or bring anything to society, therefore, but it's
I did not say that.
when you say that women should not vote, hold
cannot
on.
protect the body politic.
Right, but when you say that women should not vote, you're taking away the autonomy of women to have a say-so over politics and over the government. The government has a lot of say-so over women's bodies. And I'm telling you this as a person in Texas who has seen another person, a woman in Texas, die because she was not able to get health care provided to her. Therefore, she passed away because she had a miscarriage from a child that she actually wanted. So when you say that women should not have the right to vote, you're saying that women should not have a right to a say-so in where they live and what should happen in the country that they live in. You're taking away some of our rights. And we are part of society. We are contributing to society. We pay taxes to the society. We are helping the society thrive. In reality, when you look at educators, women, they take over the education field. They take over a lot of these medical fields. Women are the majority of the people that work there.
All right, I got a question for Chaotic. Who is Barbara Ress?
I have
Barbara
no idea.
Res. She's the lead person in charge of building the Trump Tower. She was a senior executive. She was the primary executive for all of that. So I understand what you're saying. She didn't build it. But what they're trying to tell you is that the women that you're saying don't exist, they might not be the ones that actually put the stuff together, but they are definitely instrumental in the leadership and putting the idea together. That's all they're saying. So I don't think that you're wrong in saying that they didn't build it per se, but we also know that most engineers don't actually build the building. They do the math, they do the structure test.
And you know what's funny? There's literally Elon Musk, motherfucker, not an engineer. He's an idiot. He just has the patents to all these people, and every time they build something, because he has the patent, he takes the credit. He's not an engineer. Every engineer, every coder, every gamer, everything that Elon Musk claims he's an expert on, you could literally talk with people on the field and says, nah, man, this motherfucker doesn't know nothing that he's talking about. Because he's rich and he's a billionaire and he has the patents, now we think that motherfucker is a legend. Same thing happens with construction. Not with construction per se, but with engineering, with architects, with all these people that are actually on the sidelines. But just because you are Thomas Edison doesn't mean that you came up with shit. Like Tesla is a way better inventor than whatever Thomas Edison was. Thomas Edison was an investor. He actually knew marketing. He knew how to actually get people to believe that he was a genius, while the people that worked beneath him actually was doing all the job. So, Chaotic, respectfully, man, I understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to say, but I'm glad that you agree with Iranians. Actually, Iranians actually believe that women should vote, so they're a little bit better than you. Tom Foolery, take us on, my brother, because you came in 3 hours. Tom, you can be saying yes, and Tom, I'll talk with you.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know that's my bad.
Do you agree with Chaotic Truth that women shouldn't have the right to vote? And friends, we're going to end it up after Tom. Thank you very much, Chaotic, for giving us your time. I appreciate you. HQ, awesome to see you back. Tarbuz is a legend. I appreciate it. I love this Jeremy, man. This Jeremy is the one that I love, the passionate one. So thank you very much, Jeremy. And Septic, if you come to YouTube, Septic, you're going to destroy people. I'll talk with you on the back, but I think everybody very happy to see you today. I think it's the first interaction with Dan. You did a great job. So once again, thank you very much. I hope to see you soon too. Tom, should women lose the right to vote?
Maybe I would take it maybe a step further and just say that people who think the way that they say women do and are irrational probably shouldn't have the right to vote. People who vote for people like Donald Trump probably are a little bit too irrational, too all up in their feelings, make very emotional decisions. I would include all men who vote like women, and then most women today, including in the Black community, they're the ones who are more likely to go get degrees and long-term jobs and careers. And so in the Black community, it'd probably be more women who ended up voting because they're kind of taking that role and doing a little bit better than the men. And lots of men in the white community as well seem to be really fucking up by mostly voting for somebody like Donald Trump. So I would take it a step further and take all those people's voting rights.
So chaotic not voting anymore, according.
Yeah, sorry, chaotic.
Sorry, chaotic. You go back to the back of the bus, friends. I appreciate
with the back of the bus.
Oh yeah, like Rosa Parks. She didn't have the right to talk. Shut the fuck up, Rosa.
That bitch had a car. Stop.
Oh my god, you fake god, you crazy. Hey, friends,
light skinned bitch had a light skinned bitch had a car.
Chaotic, tomfoolery, septic, HQ, Taruz, Jeremy. Y'all have to sign out because these men just kick you out of the panel. I appreciate you, friends. I hope to see you in a week. Okay, great conversation. People been asking for these conversations instead of the dick and pussy and things that are not relevant. So let's see if they put their money where their mouth is. We're going to start to do it on a week. I'll be paying attention to your work during the week, and then we go from there. Please make sure you get all the links in the description to support the content creators. I'll truly appreciate it. So Team Fatty and the Untouchables say goodbye to y'all. Peace.
This is Sparta!
Friends, this was a great pilot. Great pilot episode. Very proud of the guests we had today. It's a soft lunch. I'm going to start to do morning shows on Monday. Okay, it's a promise. We already kind of figured out this new channel, so we go from there. The Cash App is a little bit empty for my liking, but I understand. Okay, let me start with the Cash App real quick. Shout out to my boy Sean Antonio. He said today for coffee. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. We have my boy Carl Anderson with the coffee. The coffee said the USA is asking Ukraine to repay for the war in rare earth minerals. Couldn't we apply the same approach to Israel? Ooh, that's a great question. My boy Jeremy in the bill. Jason Jamieson. He says for static TikTok, Putin bell to ass to CT. Cha-ching. And we have another one. I didn't want to read this with septic here. Somebody said the chat intrusive thoughts. What is septic's bra size? Asking for the chat. You don't have to know that's her. You need to watch your mouth. And then we have Nino Nation with $5. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very, very much. Okay. And I think I got one less Cash App in the mail. It was, of course, my boy Shadow Dragon TV, an untouchable executive, always supporting, always on the back. He says, let me see what he says. He says, for the CT Fight Back Fund, great show, brother. They were trying to jump CT.
You gotta get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
Friends, go see who is live so we can do a redirect. I don't see nobody live that I actually... Can you guys watch it while I read the super chats, please? I would appreciate it. Tell me who is a friend of the show that is live right now. Chris saying Iran literally said on TV they had enough nukes for 11 nuclear bombshells. Dude, remember Pearl Harbor when people say no imminent threats. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. We have Jerome is in the house with a $10 ball. Thank you very much, Jerome. I hope you're doing dear. Black Dawn probably landed already. He says, no, Jeremy, we don't rely on Israel for intelligence. That goes directly against U.S. military. However, they are good partners because their intelligence apparatus is just as good as ours. Thank you very much, Black Dawn. I appreciate it. Brooks. Nathaniel back again says, all the presidents went along with their peace to go along with. They are not in opposition like you think. They have been preparing for this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Black Dawn, $10 since chaotic. We need to get rid of Islamic terrorist regimes. I hear nothing of Saudi Arabia, whom of which is confirmed one of their intel agencies helped with 9/11. And yes, Luca going for 40 and Ducey going to pay me my money. Thank you very much, Ducey, for the bet. Ducey just sending me money just because. I appreciate you, Ducey. The economy going crazy, and this man doing bets. First he betted Portugal, today betting the Lakers. I love you. Thank you so much, Ducey.
Damn. Trump got these prices going up. Woo-wee. Let's go. One fatty burger, please.
Get me Modern Renaissance link, Shadow Dragon, please. And we go. I'll send people there, and we can go to Discord afterwards. CT, who created Al Qaeda, said, "I'm him." He doesn't want to talk about that. I mean, I'm telling you, he doesn't. My boy Black Dawn saying chaotic. This is a holy war going for centuries. I like how they sound similar to radical jihadists too. LOL. Through the Fire podcast, there were no weapons of mass destruction. They all lied. That's a fact, sir. With Chris saying Celtic is wrongfully again. Islam has taken multitudes more lives than Christianity. They invaded Europe for 1,000 years before Europe kicked them out. We have Chris. Notice they didn't mention the 42,000 people Iran deleted in the streets and made the families pay for the bullets. Israel derangements. Thank you, Chris. And we have Iran speaks on it with 5 Messi Mission members. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. Chris back saying, just a reminder, Obama dropped more bombs and drones, struck more people in the Middle East than George Bush did. Thank you, sir. We have Miller saying, my uncle died in the attack on Pearl Harbor, World II. Iran never attacked the U.S. Thank you, Miller. Ducey with the 2 membership.
The untouchable empire, baby.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Can y'all get me the link from Modern Renaissance, please? I would appreciate it. Drop in the chat if possible. Through the Fire podcast, being dishonorable, discharge does not ruin your life. I know 5 nurses and 2 physical, I don't know this word. Physical assistants who were and as a whole damn career stop the cap. Thank you very much, Shadow. We have Chris saying the check and balances for the illegal aliens isn't the same as for citizens, but I wouldn't expect a foreigner to know.
Oh man, hey.
Damn. They got me with the foreigner again. That's crazy. Shout out to you, Chris. We appreciate you. We have that the Reaper, who is working on OnlyFans. Never mind. Must be 3 or 4 logic. Also, a woman's last name is her grandfather's last name. Thank you so much. We have 5 to go. Big Dog Physique saying, ladies, Walmart always hiring respectfully. Oh, and then we have another one. Chris says, please tell Septic that the woman healthcare industry has deleted 22 million African-American children in America since the 60s. Tabitha saying read before the Mayflower for shit and giggle. Damn, what the Mayflower is? I don't know what that is, Tabitha. Kung Fu. CJ. CT. How I get on, bro. Damn, it was a close panel, friend. Black Bear AR saying, damn, CT, you are surrounded by libtards. Good luck. And finally, last but not least, Kung Fu saying, CT, why did you waste your time? CT has to talk with people that disagree with him, because if that was not the case, that will be an echo chamber. Like, why are y'all so against letting people talk with each other? It's fine. It's totally fine. It's an echo chamber. We actually got several people that agree with CT. They just came in a little bit late or didn't show up. But for the first episode, it was a great episode. Once again, friends, our political journey starts now. I haven't shaved my head for it. The Wake Up Fatty Show with 4 morning shows, and this show as the centerpiece on Thursdays at 5 p.m. is going to be what we're doing over here, and we are about to go out. Okay, friends, thank you so much for the support and the love. Go ahead tomorrow when we drop a video, make sure you hype it up, friends. We need to get some places. We are about to blow up, so help us on our journey. I'm sending everybody to MRM. Other than that, awesome show. I appreciate y'all. Team Fatty and the Untouchable Empire, baby. Signing out. Peace.
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
Capital of any state in the South, and this whole march adds drama to this total front.
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? Where's your basis?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
Selma, Alabama. They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
He couldn't even speak the language, but he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now why can't you people do the same? My grandfather built this country, man!
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
And Jabba, the Rainbow Boogeyman with $93. Close it out. A hero that we didn't know we needed. Thank you so much, Jabba. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
All the comments would be fatty McFat, fat, fatty, 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 fat, fat. Oh, look how fat he is, right? Look at that fatty. You know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And
Yeah.